Chapter 1131, Golden Cudgel. Chapter 1131, Golden Cudgel. Main artifact Dragon Coffin were divided into several levels of evolution. The first level is where the main gun evolved. One cannon will lock on, who cares if you are South Sky or North Earth, directly kill. However, the conditions for it to open up was 5 domain treasures. It's hard. How many domain treasures did a plane have? To use the first level was truly difficult. What would the second level be? Long Fei had been looking forward to it ever since he had obtained the main artifact. Now that he had opened it, it was not to evolve into a beautiful female warrior, nor was it an upgraded version of the main gun. A shiny stick. A stick that Long Fei was extremely familiar with. A stick that was well known throughout the world. A monkey stick. It's called the Golden Cudgel. Long Fei was dumbstruck, he was stupefied. If he did not see the 5 big words on the staff, Long Fei would not know. Golden Cudgel, this fucking handsome guy is going to drop to the ground, he's definitely going to go to heaven. It's Great Sage Chitien's weapon. Immersion needle. I just want to ask, who else is there? Long Fei started to mutter incoherently. Ding. Congratulations to player Long Fei for obtaining Golden Cudgel. Do you want to preserve the second evolution? Wait. Long Fei did not save it immediately. The Golden Cudgel is indeed strong. With a swing of the staff, it would probably be an existence that will destroy the heavens and the earth. I have witnessed the might of a main gun. One shot broke through the void, passed through several planes, and directly killed the main body. If you were to preserve the second stage of evolution, would there still be the function of a main gun? This is very important. Although Long Fei did not have any domain treasures left, the Chaos Realm was connected to a countless number of lower planes. At that time, it was also possible to open the main gun. Ding. System notification. The main artifact can only keep one state, but it has all the functions. If the player wants to use the first stage, the function can be changed to the first stage. Ooh. Long Fei's eyes shook, and said slightly, after evolving, the system will be different. To actually be able to explain, seems like the 1.0 version of the system has improved a lot. The previous system would never have done this. The system looked like it had not leveled up yet, but it was actually completely different. Many of the functions could only be activated after Long Fei activated them. Save Phase 2. Long Fei moved. A flash of Golden Cudgel halo quietly floated above Long Fei's space ring. If the second stage is the evolution of Golden Cudgel, then what is its function? The first level is the main gun. What about its functions? Long Fei immediately opened up the system to check. However, the system displayed a question mark, but it did not specify whether or not Long Fei had to activate it. The Golden Cudgel. Does Laozi want to become the Great Sage Qi-Tian? Maybe one day when I devour the blood vein of a monkey, I will be able to activate its power. If that's the case. Long Fei started to get excited, and when he thought about that scene, he became inexplicably excited. His mind was filled with the scene of the Sun Wukong running amok. Of course. It was before he met Monk Tang. They beat up the little demoness who did not have a backer. They were all too useless along the way, and if they wanted to do it, they had to do it with the strongest person they could possibly have. Furthermore, Long Fei's eyes turned sinister as he looked at the sky and muttered, I will definitely trample you, I will definitely flip main temple over, I swear. Other than the 18th floor of hell, devouring vein, and other similar things like main artifact, there was another thing that was not mentioned by the system, but it was in Long Fei's body. It was a power. A power that even Long Fei himself had neglected. It was being nurtured in his body. This was the power produced by the baptism of heavenly tribulation at the Great Perfection stage. Right now, it was like a seed being nurtured in Long Fei's body, and when it grows into a sprout, Long Fei would understand the power of heavenly tribulation after its baptism. All night. Long Fei was all excited. He was even more excited than when he crossed over to God's martial continent on the first day. At the same time, he also understood his current situation. Yuanyang clan was the overlord of this area. He controlled 18 large cities within a radius of 5 million kilometers. The water city he was in was one of the 18 cities. He was a slave without a name. Number 009. His role was for the children of nobility to enjoy themselves. There were some aristocratic juniors that were specialized in new cultivation techniques and moves. They would be used to test their strength. Just like the Wang Tai in the cage today, he was a descendant of an aristocrat of Water City, and was even a nominal disciple of an outer sect of Yuanyang clan. King Kong Fist. A third-grade battle fist had the strength of 50,000 jin. One punch was enough to smash a thick granite rock into pieces. However, was extremely unhappy that they did not kill him. What made him even more unhappy was that he was holding a ball of fire in his heart, losing face in front of so many people. Water City, Wang family. Wang Tai blew a few wooden piles into pieces, the muscles on his body seemed to have exploded, his face was full of anger and he shouted, "You disgrace me. I will definitely kill you." A person who looked like a butler said, "Young Master Tai, killing him is easy, but the key is that we have to get back at him. I've already contacted him. 3 days later there will be a large beast battle arena, and the entire city will be watching it. When that happens, you can use your King Kong fist to release a strong breeze. Who would dare to stop you?" The butler said excitedly. The people of Water City were very aggressive. There were dozens of underground fighting grounds. Moreover, there was also a huge coliseum in the city, specially designed to please the nobles and senior executives. There were beasts fighting, and people fighting. Wang Tai's eyes darkened and asked, "Will the slave number 009 participate?" The steward immediately said, "Young Master Tai, don't worry, he will definitely attend. I have long arranged for him to do so." Wang Tai smirked and said, "All right. Brat, prepare to die." The butler took a step forward and whispered, "Young Master Tai, I heard that this time there is still the Yuanyang clan's Elders Guild." A nominal disciple and an official disciple had two completely different meanings. If he could become an official disciple, then his status would be completely different. Wang Tai's eyes flashed with a trace of light, the corners of his mouth slightly hooked up, and excitedly laughed, and said, "Hey! In 3 days, I must raise the power of the King Kong Fist." Chaos Realm, at another unknown place. A middle-aged man closed his eyes and took a deep breath, his face filled with excitement as he muttered, "Chaos Realm, I'm finally back. Finally, I'm back." Chapter 1132 Where, Boss? Chapter 1132 Where, Boss? How can I get out of here? Long Fei asked. He did not want to stay in this cage. Niu Dashan said, "No one can leave this place, there is only one type of person that can, and that is the dead." That was the fate of slaves. Once you are branded with a slave imprint, you will never be able to get rid of it. Long Fei's chest had a slave symbol on it. They could only be the target of other people's playfulness, a human sandbag. Only the dead would be thrown into the cemetery like trash, torn apart by wild dogs. Long Fei said, "Have you never tried it before?" Niu Dashan laughed bitterly. The person who tried was already dead, who would still dare to try? At this moment, a strong light shone from the iron cage. A pot-bellied man walked down step by step. In the darkness, he was like a giant lantern shining with golden light. At this moment, Long Fei's eyes suddenly lit up with excitement. "Wow, boss. Ding. Congratulations to player Long Fei for triggering the quest. Mission, lead the slaves out of here. Grade, B time, 10 days reward, 3,000 experience points, 300 holy sauce, 1 special item obtained. Ding. Do you accept?" Long Fei didn't even think before replying, "I accept it, of course I accept it." Seeing the excitement in Long Fei's eyes, Niu Dashan immediately asked in a low voice, "Boss, what are you so excited about?" Long Fei replied, "Just excited." Niu Dashan continued, "Boss, don't look at him. The boss hates it when people stare at his face the most. Boss, don't look at his face now." Long Fei did not retract his gaze, but continued to stare at the slave owner, his eyes gleaming and his heart becoming excited. "Chaos Realm's first boss, you still want me to not take another look?" At this moment, a man next to the slave owner shouted and threw out a stream of power. Boom. Seeing that, for some reason, Niu Dashan stepped forward and blocked in front of Long Fei. Boom. Nyo Dashan's body was sent flying and crashed into a thick iron wall. The iron wall caved in and Nyo Dashan's chest shook and split open as he could not help but spurt out a mouthful of blood. Long Fei frowned. "Are you all right?" Nyo Dashan wiped the blood off his mouth and said, "I'm fine." Long Fei's gaze turned towards the man who just attacked, and his gaze darkened slightly. The man shouted, "What are you looking at?" Long Fei laughed coldly. "I'm not looking at anything, I just want to remember your appearance." The man's gaze turned cold. "Remember my appearance?" Long Fei replied, "That's right, when the time comes I'm afraid I'll kill the wrong person." "Kid, are you looking to die?" The man's eyes were filled with anger, the power in his hands suddenly moved, and was about to strike Long Fei. At this moment, the slave owner said coldly, "Stop." The man beside him immediately retracted his power, not daring to disobey. The slave owner stared at Long Fei and said, "Brat, 3 days later, there will be a large-scale beast gathering. If you can survive from the competition, you and these people will be able to live well. But if you die, the slave owner revealed a sinister smile, "The fatty behind you and the trash around you will all die." One of the slaves immediately said, "Fighting beasts are extremely dangerous. It's fine if you just let 009 die, but why do you need to bring us along? We don't want to die. Boss, 009 is a piece of trash. If he goes, that means he's throwing his life away. Boss, I'm begging you, just kill him. 009, don't implicate us. If I were you, I would just kill myself. Do you want to survive the beast battling competition?" A slave. This was an impossible task. No one would let a slave survive the beast assembly. The audience would not agree. Even if the audience agreed, the gladiators in the Colosseum would not agree. The demon beast would not agree. From the founding of the Beast Warrior Guild until now, not a single slave had survived. Whoever went would die. It was simply impossible for Long Fei to return alive. At this moment, Nyo Dashan clenched his fists tightly and said, "Boss, let him go. My cultivation is stronger than his, I can help." Not waiting for him to finish, the slave owner's eyes turned sinister. The man beside him sent another stream of energy flying. Suddenly, it was as fast as lightning. Long Fei simply could not react. It was the same for Nyo Dashan. The difference in cultivation level was too huge, they were not on the same level, and were simply not his opponents. Boom! Nyo Dashan was sent flying again, crashing into the previously caved-in iron wall. This time, the injury was even more severe. Several ribs on his chest were broken, and his face was as pale as thin paper. He spurted a few mouthfuls of blood consecutively. The slave owner coldly laughed and said, "Well, now that you are seriously injured, you won't be able to participate, right?" "Ha ha ha." The slave owner laughed coldly. Two eyes turned to stare at Long Fei, and said, "Kid, if not for someone calling for you to come out, you would already be dead. Humph. 3 days later, you die. These people will die with you. Do you understand? Finished." The slave owner sneered and turned away. The expert coldly looked at Long Fei, revealed a scornful cold smile, and followed him out. Everyone looked at Long Fei. His eyes were filled with hatred. 009, kill yourself. Right, only if you die will the boss let us live. Long Fei ignored him. He knew that everyone wanted to live, even in a place like this where life was better than death, so he did not say anything. Was not moved. One of the slaves shouted, "Trash, am I talking to you? Are you deaf?" Not waiting for him to finish. Suddenly, Long Fei took a step forward, and with a move of his right hand, he instantly grabbed onto the man's throat. With a fierce charge, he pushed the man onto the fence, raised him up into the air and said coldly, "If you let me hear the word trash again, I will kill you, understand? Do you understand?" The slave's body trembled, and urine dripped from his crotch. He quickly nodded and said with a trembling voice, "Yes, yes, yes." Long Fei loosened his grip. The man sat down on the ground and was so scared that he almost cried. Long Fei swept his gaze across the iron prison, and didn't hear a single sound. Long Fei walked to Nyo Dashan's side and said, "I will use his life as compensation for these 2 strikes." Nyo Dashan said, "Boss, Don't be rash. That person is very strong, the slave owner is stronger, and also, I'm worried about the battle beast in 3 days. He did not continue. Because Long Fei would die in the beast battling arena. Long Fei smiled faintly and said, Don't worry, I will definitely blow this place up. And then Long Fei opened his space ring and said faintly, It's time to level up. Chapter 1133 Eating Experience Elixir leveled up. Great. Chapter 1133 Eating Experience Elixir leveled up. Great. It was something from the gods' martial continent. Weapons, pills, immortal crystals were basically useless here. Because these things were similarly restricted by the rules of the world, and even within the space ring S, they were the same. If one entered this world, they would become trash, just like how Long Fei was at the same realm. If he could teleport back to the gods' martial continent, he would still be in the 9th level of the flying immortal realm. But in the new plane, a higher plane, and with a different power of law, Long Fei would have to start anew after the baptism of heavenly tribulation. It was as if he had returned to the newbie village. This was not the case. Long Fei's strength had not changed, but she had changed the rules of this plane. Just like the Chaos Realm, the 9th level of the flying immortal stage was the lowest level of existence. Of course, there were also some special things that were not restricted by the laws of plane. Just like the main artifact dragon coffin, there were also things that came from higher planes. For example, Goddess Tear. It did not change at all. Another example. Something that originally belonged to this chaos realm. For example, Experience Elixir. The black chest that the Beeman swept across the secret world's family members had been given to Long Fei, but the Experience Elixir was still on him. It never worked. It was not bound by the laws of the plane. Looking at the accumulated experience in the space ring, the corner of Long Fei's mouth quirked up into a smile. The idea moved. Devour. Ding. Congratulations to player Long Fei for swallowing Experience Elixir. You have gained 100 experience points. Damn. Only 100 experience points. What the F***? Long Fei was immediately unhappy. After all, those people from the Tian family were also from the Chaos Realm, so even if they weren't from the powerhouse, they wouldn't have at least 100 experience points, right? This time, the system did not give any explanation. 100 experience points were not a lot, but to Long Fei, no matter how small it would still be useless. I'll accept it. Again. Long Fei then moved his idea and swallowed one of it. Ding. Congratulations to player Long Fei for swallowing Experience Elixir. You have received 100 experience points. Ding. Congratulations to player Long Fei for swallowing Experience Elixir. You have received 100 experience points. The 5th system beep sounded. Long Fei's experience points instantly rose to 100%, and the system sounded out the leveling prompt. Ding. Congratulations to player Long Fei for leveling up. Current level, yellow level, level 1. Ding. Congratulations to player Long Fei for leveling up and obtaining a special reward. The reward is Wind God Leg. Do you wish to cultivate it? Hey! Surprise! Long Fei's mind moved, and immediately said, Cultivate. Ding. Congratulations to player Long Fei for training Wind God Leg for obtaining a special reward of 10 experience points. Skill path, Wind God Leg grade, 9 rank deity consumption, 10 holy source S description, a single kick. Shocked. Long Fei's cultivation technique column finally had the first cultivation technique. At this moment, Long Fei looked at his personal stats. Player, Long Fei level, yellow rank level 1, yellow, profound, purple, spirit, sun, moon, star, and dawn, 3 sovereigns, sky, earth, and human rank above grade 1 to grade 9, holy source, 100-point skill path, Wind God Leg lucky value, 10 striking value, 100 war pet, none. Long Fei glanced at it for a bit, and then said, Continue. He began to frantically devour the experience elixir again. Swallowing them one by one, Long Fei's experience rapidly increased. 10 minutes later, Long Fei's level increased once again. 2nd grade yellow rank. Continue. Long Fei was just like a madman, constantly crazily devouring the experience elixir within the space ring. Another 15 minutes passed. Ding. Congratulations to player Long Fei for leveling up. Current level, yellow rank level, 3. Congratulations to player Long Fei for obtaining the top tier cure pill as a reward. Long Fei took out a pellet and walked to Niu Dashan's side, saying, "Take this pellet." Niu Dashan was startled. This is a cure pill. As soon as his voice faded, all the slaves in the iron prison surrounded them like a swarm of bees. All of them stared at the cure pill in Long Fei's hands, as if they were all staring at a monster. They didn't even blink, and many of them were gulping down their saliva. "Isn't it just a cure pill? Is there a need for this?" Long Fei muttered. He looked at the cure pill's attribute, which was a third-ranked pill. Apart from the effects of the treatment, there was no other use. But just its grade was enough to move any warrior's heart in Water City. Not long after that, the third stage cure pill appeared. Extremely rare even for level 3 cure pill. Just because he said he would give it away. Too willful. Niu Dashan felt overwhelmed and quickly said, "Boss, I can't, the cure pill are too precious." "Boss, you have to participate in the beast gathering. With this pill on your body, you have to have an extra bit of hope in survival, keep it for yourself." Long Fei shouted, "I told you to eat, so be it, do you still act like a man?" Finished. Long Fei pressed his hand onto Niu Dashan's. His first palm strike had blocked it for Long Fei. No matter how precious this pellet was, Long Fei would not hesitate to give it to him. Niu Dashan was so touched that she was about to cry. Long Fei said, "If you bear this palm attack for me, this pill should be yours." At this moment, the slaves by their sides were all regretting their decision. If they could take one palm from one cure pill, they would be willing to take 10. After Long Fei threw the pill down, he continued to swallow the experience elixir. 1 hour later. Ding. Congratulations to player Long Fei for leveling up. Current level, yellow rank level, 4. I leveled up again. Long Fei could feel the changes in his body and his strength every time he leveled up. At the same time as Long Fei leveled up, the power seed in his body also absorbed a huge amount of power, which slowly increased in strength bit by bit. Continue. Long Fei took a deep breath, looked at the remaining experience elixir S, and said, "I wonder if I can level up one more level." The experience elixir swallowed them one by one. Right now, he needed to raise the level up to 100,000 experience points, which was equivalent to 1,000 experience elixir. 90%. Another wave of experience elixir has been devoured. 98%. When his experience points reached 99%, Long Fei looked at the last experience elixir in his hands. As long as he consumed this pellet, he would be able to level up immediately. But Long Fei did not do so. What did leveling up mean? It meant that he would have to revive once in place and stay at the most critical moment. This was his advantage. A battle beast is a chance. Long Fei secretly clenched his fists and kept the experience elixir away, then asked Niu Dashan about some things related to the beast battling arena. Following that, an escape plan appeared in Long Fei's mind. No one can leave this place alive. No slave can survive in the city. I can, because my name is Long Fei. Chapter 1134, The Beast Battling Competition. Chapter 1134, The Beast Battling Competition. The next 2 days, Long Fei practiced Wind God Leg. This was his only cultivation technique. He had to fully unleash the power of the Wind God Leg. The more he practiced, the more the surrounding people looked at him with respect. Furthermore, they had been wondering how Long Fei managed to break through. Why couldn't they understand Long Fei? "Brother Niu, how did Boss become so strong? Do you know? Brother Niu, what level is Boss at now?" "Oxbro." Niu Dashan raged and shouted, "Don't King ask anymore, I don't know either." 3 days passed in the blink of an eye. "Brat, come out." The 2 experts around the slave owner walked into the iron prison. They stared at Long Fei with contempt. "Today is your good day, ha ha ha." Long Fei stood up. In 3 days' time, he was ready. Nyo Dashan grabbed Long Fei and said, "Boss, be careful. This cure pill, you." He did not consume the cure pill but rather, kept it. He was very clear in his heart that Long Fei needed this pellet even more than he did. However, the item that Long Fei had gifted him was never brought back, so he stuffed the cure pill back into the Li Palace's hands and said, "You keep the pills, and also, rest assured, I will bring you out of here." Finished. Long Fei then walked out. He walked to the outside of the iron prison. The pot-bellied slave owner laughed coldly, stared at Long Fei and laughed contemptuously, then said coldly, "Put him in the prison." The powerhouse kicked Long Fei in the back, "Get in." Long Fei did not wait for him to kick his body. With a slight movement of his body, he walked straight into the cage. The powerhouse's foot failed to hit him and his expression changed slightly. The slave owner did not take it seriously and said, "Go to the beast fighting arena. Water City, Duke Palaces." "Young Master Tai, the news is indeed true. That elder will really go to the beast battling arena to watch a show," the butler said excitedly. Wang Tai's eyes flashed, and he laughed. "My chance has come, ha ha ha. As long as I become an official disciple of Yuan Yang clan, I want to destroy Water City." And then, one of the guards walked into the courtyard and said softly, "Young Master Tai, it's just a set of King Kong fistes that old Master sent over." Master said not to let him down this time. Wang Tai was overwhelmed by the unexpected favor. Looking at the abnormally excited King Kong fistes, he said, "Go back and tell my father, I definitely won't let him down. Ha ha ha. With this pair of gloves, all martial artists below yellow level 6 will be crushed by me." Wang Tai was excited. His King Kong fist had already been cultivated to a certain realm. If it was combined with this pair of King Kong fist rooms, he would be invincible within the same realm. Beast fighting arena, in the center of Water City. This was the bloodiest, most brutal and most blood-boiling place. Almost everyone in the city had come. They liked that kind of violence, hoped that demon beasts' violence, liked the blood of humans, and enjoyed that kind of thrilling feeling. "Elder Yang, why come to such a low-class place? This is a place where some slaves are fighting with the lower class. There are no good seedlings here," a simply dressed follower asked, puzzled. An elder stood beside him. He was simple and unadorned, with a dull expression on his face. It was impossible to tell that there was anything special about him. However, a wave of flame started to emit from under his feet. Those who were close to him were pushed away by a force of their own without anyone noticing. This was the powerhouse. Yang Yu smiled faintly. "In this selection of Yuan Yang clan, I do not have a single disciple I can take out. All of the better disciples in the 18 cities below Yuan Yang clan have been taken away, so perhaps there will be a surprise here." "What kind of surprise is this place?" "Genius disciples all possess powerful blood veins. This kind of slave, this kind of lowly person simply doesn't have any kind of blood vein talent." Then the follower grinned and said, "Chaos Realm. The blood vein was the king. Blood vein decided to be a genius. Slaves usually did not have any blood vein inherent skill and could only be toyed with and played with by others." Yang Yu also knew. However, this was the last city in which he had gone down the mountain to search for the 18 cities. He had secretly observed all the slightly famous young geniuses within the city, but none of them had met his requirements. Today was the last day. If he couldn't find it, then he could only give up. Yang Yu sat down and said, "Anu, since you have arrived, please rest assured. If not, just treat it as a competition to relax. Wind God leg. Wind element refinement. Let my speed drive the strength, and I'll shatter it in one blow." Long Fei continuously simulated wind god leg in his mind. After 2 days of hard work, his wind god leg proficiency had already reached level 2. His understanding of the wind god leg deepened. Suddenly, a voice echoed, "We are here." Long Fei slightly raised his eyes. The black cloth on top of the cage was lifted, and around them was a damp and gloomy room that reeked of feces. The entire room was filled with the hair of demon beast. Clearly, this was not a place to imprison people. Long Fei said, "This should be the place where the demon beast are imprisoned, right?" The powerhouse found it funny and asked, "Are you human?" You're just a slave. Imprisoning you in the demon beast's room is your first time thinking highly of you. You must know that Trash's life is worse than a demon beast's, do you understand? Trash. That powerhouse was filled with disdain. Long Fei slightly said, "One more word." The powerhouse laughed. "Trash. What's wrong? You want to kill me? If you have the ability to do so, you might as well survive the dough beast meat." Trash. In his eyes, Long Fei was already a dead person. No slave could survive the beast battling arena. No one. Long Fei's eyes darkened as he stared at the powerhouse. Clenching his fists tightly, he said coldly, "Don't worry, I will look for you. Brat, do your best. Your life will determine the lives of your fellow prisoners. Don't let our boss down." The powerhouse laughed in disdain. And then, he laughed and said, "By the way, young Master Wang Tai asked for you to participate in the beast gathering. This time, he will let you have a taste of the King Kong fist." Ha ha ha. Finished. He walked away. Wang Tai appeared in Long Fei's mind. His eyes turned sinister as his killing intent surged. The best way to greet a world was death for Long Fei. "I will use my blood to greet this world. Use your blood to let the people in this world know that I'm here." Long Fei leaned on the wall and waited quietly. His mind continued to calculate the wind god leg every time. In the arena, it was extremely lively. Cheers came one after another. A host shouted, "Battle Beast Association, begin." Chapter 1135, Berserk Upgraded. This is awesome. Chapter 1135, Berserk Upgraded. This is awesome. The first round. 3-star Benwolf against 8 yellow rank level 3 slaves. As soon as his voice faded, the iron gate was opened in a flash. Roar. A wolf twice the size of an adult lion dashed out. A halo surrounded its legs, and its fur stood erect like steel needles. The moment he rushed to the center of the Colosseum, he let out a roar. Roar. It was as if he was venting his emotions. He was the king here. In another place, 8 yellow rank level 3 martial artists were pushed out. Their faces were pale, and they did not dare to look straight at the 3-star Benwolf in the center of the field. The moment they were pushed out, the 3-star Benwolf's eyes sunk, staring at the 8 people, water dripping out of its mouth, its front claws slightly digging into the ground. At this moment, its body rushed forward. "Ha ha ha. It's here, it's here. How long will it take this time? I'll bet it won't take more than a minute. I bet 30 seconds. This 3-star Benwolf hasn't been fed for 7 days, and these 8 people will be eaten by him in an instant. Ha ha ha. That's good enough. Eat them, eat them." The 8 of them did not dare to resist at all, and immediately fled the moment they saw the 3-star Benwolf pouncing towards them. But the door was already blocked, so they had no way out. Roar. Crack. One by one, the warriors' heads were bitten off and fresh blood spurted out. The Sky Wolf bit off their heads, and with a catcher-catcher sound, its entire body was swallowed up. Then, his speed changed, and he instantly changed his direction. Shua. Another warrior was pushed to the ground and he took a bite. Crack. Seeing the blood spurt out, the whole field was filled with cheers. The bloodier the blood, the more excited they were. Here, the law of the eating of men was even more vivid. No one would sympathize with the weak. In less than 30 seconds, all 8 warriors were eaten by the 3-star Benwolf. The fresh blood made them even more vicious, and in the end, the iron gate opened. The 3-star Benwolf walked slowly like a king back into the cage. Cheers broke out from the crowd. The following matches were all the same. Slaves against Demon Beast. The slaves were completely defeated, and all the slaves were ripped apart by the Demon Beast. Not a single one of them were able to survive. Every time, the audience on stage would be in an uproar. Boom. The next battle will be between our Water City's Duke Palace's young master Wang Tai and a slave. As soon as he finished, the crowd immediately began to discuss this. Who's so unlucky to actually be able to fight against Wang Tai? This slave has really been struck with bad luck for 8 lifetimes. Ha ha ha. Wang Tai is a genius of the Water City, and is even a disciple of the Yuan Yang clan. Water City Royal Palace was one of the strongest forces. Wang Tai was even the little genius of the Water City. Last time at the underground fighting arena, he did not manage to beat Long Fei to death with 3 punches, which made him very unhappy. Today, he wanted to fight Long Fei with his right fist, and then challenge those demon beasts, wanting the Yuanyang clan elders in the audience to prove himself. Wang Tai walked out from the passage, facing a proud smile. The other one, Long Fei, was pushed out of the arena by a wall, and slowly walked to the center of the Colosseum. Looking at the corpses, bones, and blood, he smiled slightly and said, "This is the world I like." Heh. The more brutal and tyrannical it was, the more Long Fei liked it. He was a wolf. He was born to kill. In the instant that he stood in the center of the arena, he slightly raised his eyes, looked at the sky, and revealed an excited expression. At this moment, Wang Tai walked up, his entire body covered in armor, his pair of gloves were exceptionally eye-catching. He stared at Long Fei and sneered, "You bastard, last time you were lucky, this time I will kill you with 1 punch." There was a look of pride on his face. He was a noble in the Water City. He was born to be superior. Long Fei's expression changed as he stared at Wang Tai, and he said coldly, "I said it before, I will remember you." Wang Tai let out 2 heavy punches, and said, "I will make you always remember me. When you reach Yama, just say that I was the one who killed you." Boom, boom. 2 powerful forces roared out. The sound of the King Kong Fist. King Kong Fist. The Wang family's 3rd-rank cultivation technique, the King Kong Fist. Furthermore, Wang Tai is wearing a set of King Kong Fist, then one of his punches would have been instantly killed. Instant kill, I want to instantly kill. The 2 fists that were as fierce as King Kong struck towards Long Fei's chest with unstoppable force. Moreover, Wang Tai's cultivation was at the 6th stage of the yellow rank. This punch of his was enough to wash away his shame, and he was determined to inst-kill Long Fei. "If I don't instantly kill you, just consider it my loss. Kid. Tremble under my King Kong Fist." Extremely arrogant. However, Long Fei sneered, "Is the King Kong Fist awesome? Is a grade 3 cultivation technique incredible? The 3rd stage of the Chaos Realm is already so powerful. Then have a taste of my grade 9 divine martial arts." As soon as he finished, Long Fei's feet moved like the wind. He suddenly stepped forward, shua. His figure transformed into a gust of wind. His right leg formed a whip as it fiercely swept downwards. Grade 3 cultivation technique? What about a grade 9 divine art? The difference was too great. In the audience, Yang Yu suddenly stood up, his eyes stared straight at Long Fei, his mind tensed up, and could not help but say, "So fast." Rumble. A kick landed on top of Wang Tai's head. A burst of power shot out. Crack! Wang Tai's body could not take it anymore, and fell down on his knees. The kneecap shattered, and fresh blood spewed out. Ah! It screamed like a pig being butchered. In the air, Long Fei's body froze in place. His right leg swept out, and with a flip of his body, his left leg swept out, heavily kicking at Wang Tai's neck. Boom! The power shot out. His body immediately flew out, and continuously somersaulted. With the last loud sound, Wang Tai's head smashed into the wall, and half of his body hung outside. The health point above his head instantly bottomed out. A magnificent inst-kill. Simple and crude. After these 2 KO moves, the entire scene of Long Fei being so handsome that he fell to the ground in pieces, the power of the wind godleg was so strong that it exploded. What was violent? This was it. Everyone could not react in time. Was this something that a human F*king did? They were all stunned on the spot, and their heads were turning numb. The entire beast battle arena was quiet, only hearing the fresh blood from Wang Tai's body dripping down one drop after another. The system beep rang. Long Fei moved a bit and released her striking energy value without hesitation. "This is the first person I killed in Chaos Realm, so I naturally have to release my striking value. Explode more violently for me." Ding. Congratulations to player Long Fei for killing Wang Tai for obtaining 890 experience, 50 holy source and 10 energy values. Congratulations to player Long Fei for obtaining King Kong Fist. Do you wish to cultivate it? Congratulations to player Long Fei for obtaining the King Kong Fist set. The system beep suddenly stopped here. Long Fei immediately said in bewilderment, "Damn, this is Berserk. F*CKUF*K, I'm going to rape your grandmother." It was at this moment. The system beep sounded again. Ding. Players release their striking energy value and obtain special items. Please choose the Domain Treasure Series, Water God Treasure Series, Heavenly Mystery Series, Game Series, Cartoon Series, Wyman Series, Myth Series, Mecha Series, Universe Unknown Series. Please choose. Long Fei was confused. Damn, is this the upgraded version of the striking system? You can still choose for yourself. Heavens, I'm going to explode, ha ha ha. I want to choose. Chapter 1136, Berserk. Chapter 1136, Berserk. There were too many things. How to choose? Long Fei was troubled, because every single series was filled with enticement. Domain Treasure, the energy source of main artifact. Water God Treasure, Primal Chaos Diagram, Dong Huang Clock, Demon Refining Gorge, 12 rank Golden Lotus. Secret Treasure of the Heavenly Court, 9 Dragons True Chi, Power of Myriad Tribulations, its Myriad Beasts. Game Series, Hero Alliance, King's Glory, Guardian of the Vanguard, Legend of the Red Blood, Magical Beast, Journey to the West, DNF, CF. Animation Series, One Piece, Flame Ninja, Fey Tail, Death God, 7 Dragon Pearl, Steel Beast. Wyman Series, X-Men, Iron Man, Spider-Man, Thor, Invincible Hulk. The thing that made Long Fei the most curious was the unknown universe. The unknown universe should be the technology of the future, but it could also be that of an alien planet. What could this be? Long Fei did not know either. However, what he needed the most now was combat power. He needed a strong power to ensure his own safety. In this chaos realm, who clearly displayed his power as a man-eater, the first thing Long Fei needed to do was to live on. What should I choose? Games, anime, domain treasure, even myths. It was as if Long Fei had decided to become a phobia. Fuck, close your eyes and randomly pick one. Long Fei really did not know how to choose. He wanted to choose every single one of them, but he could only choose one. And then, closing his eyes, the idea moved and randomly clicked on one of them. Ding. Congratulations to player Long Fei for choosing Wyman series. The system beep rang. Long Fei's heart tensed up. The Wyman series, those superheroes in American movies, who would they go crazy with? Ding. Congratulations to player Long Fei for triggering level 1 striking energy value and obtaining Invincible Hauka S energy. In that instant, a syringe appeared in Long Fei's mind. The injection was a green liquid. Item, Invincible Hulk. Number of times, 03. Description, once a player uses it again, it will turn into an Invincible Hulk, allowing them to unleash 100% of Hulk's strength and defense. Ha ha ha. Unparalleled Hulk, that green monster in short pants, hihi. Long Fei became excited. Amongst the superheroes, she seemed gentle and refined, and was even a doctor. However, once she went berserk, no one could stop her. At the same time, Long Fei listened to the system beep carefully and muttered to himself, level 1 striking energy value? Could it be that my energy values can still be accumulated, and I can still level up? System notification. The striking energy value can be raised. The higher the level of each item raised, the more items there are. System notification. Secondary Violent Ghost's energy values is 1000 points. Understood. Long Fei laughed in his heart. This will be fun. Just wait until I kill a few tens of thousands of demon beast and level up to the highest level. What will happen to me when I go berserk? Heh. The explosion of striking energy value meant that something had dropped from another world. Right now, if Long Fei thought about it, it was possible for it to appear. Even. It really could burst out with a beautiful female warrior. This is great. Long Fei shouted excitedly. It was also at this time. The beast battling arena erupted into cheers. Ha ha ha. Too powerful. He managed to kill Wang Tai in 2 moves. What cultivation technique did he use just now? The 2 kicks are invincible. This slave is amazing. Ha ha ha. Water City's little genius was instantly killed. How much is this slave? I'll pay 10,000 taels. I bid 100,000 silver. They didn't panic as soon as Long Fei killed him, nor did they mock him. They despised him, but they were excited and cheered, as they didn't care who died. What they wanted to see was violence. They worshipped the powerhouse. This was the Chaos Realm. A simple, rough world. They were all cheering in excitement, but the members of the Wang clan were incomparably furious. He shouted loudly, "You bastard, you're courting death." Rumble. At this moment, a door suddenly opened. The entire audience went silent. The 3-star Benwolf, which had killed 8 people, came out from the dark tunnel. In the darkness, its eyes shone with a green light as it stared at Long Fei. He stared at his prey, 3-star Benwolf. Ha ha ha. These are all fun. 3-star Benwolf versus slave. 3-star Benwolf's strength is comparable to a yellow rank level 6 peak realm. What cultivation level is this slave at? He definitely won't be able to withstand it. Rip him. The audience was in an uproar. They all stood there staring at the center of the field. The 3-star Benwolf had never lost since they came to the beast battle arena. It ate people for a living. In this short month, the number of people that died at its hands reached 100. Incomparable savagery. His sharp fangs flashed with a cold light. The moment he walked out, he roared towards the sky, "Awu." It was as if he was saying to Long Fei, "This is my territory, I am the king." It was just that. As the 3-star Benwolf was roaring, Long Fei rushed forward quickly. With a smile, he said, "I don't care how many stars you are, I just want to kill." It means experience, energy values. Compared to God's martial continent, Long Fei needed energy values even more. Killing 10 points for killing and 1 point for killing Demon Beast. Moreover, the current him desperately needed experience points. His disappeared. A voice came from the audience, and Long Fei disappeared. The next second, in front of the 3-star Benwolf, Wind God leg. Boom. A heavy kick landed on the direwolf's throat. Crack. The sound of bones cracking could be heard. The 3-star Benwolf's body trembled and was forced back. Waves of painful screams came from its throat, but it could not cry out. The corner of Long Fei's mouth lifted slightly, and said, "You sure are cocky for lousy." Without waiting for the 3-star Benwolf to stand firm, Long Fei's speed changed again. Wind God leg. Shua. An incomparably sharp technique once more charged out. Boom. The head of the 3-star Benwolf swept down. Crack. The skull exploded. The 3-star Benwolf heavily kneeled down, and directly knelt in front of Long Fei. Long Fei sneered coldly, "Do you still dare to be arrogant?" The 3-star Benwolf's eyes were filled with rage. He had never been so angry before. However, Long Fei would definitely not give him any chance. The moment the 3-star Benwolf kneeled on the ground, Long Fei moved both his fists, putting the King Kong fist on top of his fists. He aimed at the cracked skull of the Sky Wolf and smashed it down heavily. King Kong fist. Explode for me. Rumble. When its HP fell, the 3-star Benwolf rolled over and spat out a mouthful of blood, then fell to the ground, dead. Ding. Congratulations to player Long Fei for killing 3-star Benwolf for obtaining 1000 experience, 100 holy source and 1 energy values. Ding. Congratulations to player Long Fei for leveling up. Current level, yellow rank level 5. Ding. Congratulations to player Long Fei for obtaining a special leveling reward. The reward is a Berserk lottery. A wild explosion. Chapter 1137 League of Heroes Cannon Tower. Chapter 1137 League of Heroes Cannon Tower Wild Explosion. This is a new lottery system. Long Fei was a little excited. Everything that had to do with the word Berserk was impressive. Gudong. Long Fei swallowed his saliva heavily, and said, "Open the Berserk lottery." Buzz. An interface appeared in Long Fei's mind. In the interface of the slot machine, there were a variety of items. Each item was a super item and each item was extremely valuable. Game characters. A game item. A divine treasure. Super cannon. It could be said that this berserk lottery draw was even larger than the ones produced by striking energy value, and that there were even more of them. Wow. Wow, it's my heart. System, I'm in love with you. Do you want me to love you more? Long Fei was just about to say something, then come and draw more berserk. Who knew that before he could finish his sentence, the system would say directly, I don't want to. Long Fei. Just when Long Fei was excited about these, the stands were once again filled with shock. These people all looked as if they were about to go crazy. His mind was spinning and he couldn't turn around. How could a mere slave do this? Isn't this too unbelievable? Is this person really a slave? Don't talk about slaves to me, he's my idol now. Have you ever seen such a ferocious slave? So handsome. Just who is this person? Yang Yu's face was full of excitement. Good, 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 yellow rank level 4. No, that's not right, he just instantly broke through to yellow rank 5th rank. For his cultivation to be able to do this, that's too amazing. He's really fierce, his strength is fierce, fierce. His follower said, Elder, but his cultivation is too low, and completely does not meet the standards of our Yuan Yang clan. Furthermore, he is a slave without any gifted vein, and this kind of martial artist has no future, at most he is only a black level warrior. Slaves, identity subterranean. Lowly person. There was no future in being looked down upon by anyone. No matter how powerful a person was, it would be useless. At most, he would be the one laughing in the arena, and that was it. It was impossible to enter a clan or even a sect. Yang Yu did not understand, and said, Anu, do not underestimate a slave. The gifted vein is important, but that heart of yours that has become stronger is even more important. At this moment, boom, 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 the iron gates of the Colosseum were opened, and more than 20 ferocious demon beasts rushed out one by one. Ha ha ha. A group battle. All the demon beasts have been released, kill that slave. That's interesting. That slave is not yet alive in this beast fighting arena. Does he want to make history? Then we should give him a good slap, ha ha ha. They did not care about Long Fei's life or death, what they wanted was pleasure. It didn't matter how great the disparity in strength was. Who cares about the rules of the beast battling arena, they just wanted to see the scene of Long Fei being torn apart. At this moment, rumble. With a loud bang, the entire beast battling arena shook violently. All the demon beasts in the field were crawling on the ground as they let out low roars of fear. The audience went silent for half a second. Suddenly, an earth-shattering scream exploded. Butcher, butcher, butcher. A huge iron gate was opened. The sound of footsteps came from the depths of the pitch-black tunnel. The sound of footsteps was like heavy thunder. The truly terrifying demon beast had appeared. Wang Shanha's face was filled with cold intent. He stared at the important Long Fei and said with killing intent, a mere little slave dares to oppose my duke's mansion? Let's see how strong you are. Humph. Wang Shanha, the patriarch of the Water City's Duke Palace. Wang Tai's father. Watching his own son get killed, the fury in his heart roiled about. His son being killed, his Duke Palace losing face, he wanted Long Fei to pay the price of death. Kid, enjoy yourself. Roar. With a loud bang, a monster with a body as large as a mountain and an ugly face walked out of the passageway. It carried a huge stone axe on its shoulder. Its ugly face had an eye. Staring at Long Fei, she glared at him with her huge eyes. Buzz. A powerful force came crashing down. Boom, boom, boom. Long Fei's body suddenly dropped and staggered backwards. He almost could not take the impact of the impact and almost fell to the ground. Ha ha ha. Seeing that Long Fei could not take it, the monster started laughing excitedly. The audience also erupted into cheers. Butchers, 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 butchers. He was the king of this Colosseum. The super-giant star in the entire Water City. His appearance on the stage made everyone's blood boil. Long Fei swept his gaze across the entire audience and laughed coldly. You really like me being killed that much, right? He felt displeased. It was also at this time. Long Fei moved, activating Berserk Lottery. The lottery system began spinning. Long Fei was multitasking. On one hand, he was on guard, and on the other hand, he was paying attention to the demon beast in the arena. He secretly thought in his heart, "Pick a good thing for me to eat." Demasha. At this moment, the stone axe in the butcher's hand fell. The ground shook as a cloud of dust rolled over. The surrounding demon beast began to roar. "It's about to begin. Ha ha ha. It's about to begin. Butcher, tear that damned slave to pieces. Kill him." Yongyu frowned. Anu said, "Clan Elder, that butcher demon beast's cultivation is too strong, it has completely suppressed him, and that slave will definitely not be able to withstand it." Yongyu was thinking whether or not he should save Long Fei. He knew that Long Fei would not be able to hold on. The strength of this demon beast was so strong that even a yellow rank level 9 could not defend against it. If he didn't act, Long Fei was definitely going to die. However, in Yang Yu's heart, what was the limit of Long Fei's limits that he wanted to know? He wanted to know what Long Fei's potential was. Huff. Yang Yu exhaled a long breath, and in the end, sat on his seat and did not move. "Kid, let me see what your limit is." This was a situation where death was inevitable. Everyone knows. When the butcher attacked, Long Fei could not resist at all. They know. Long Fei himself was very clear that the hierarchy in the Chaos Realm was stronger than the god's martial continent, so he could use the speed of the Wind God leg to kill Wang Tai. The two small levels were not bad. Once it surpassed, Long Fei would not be able to kill it. The lottery system was still spinning and the results had yet to come out. Long Fei's heart sank, and he shouted, "Kick him first, then talk." Wind God leg. Long Fei was as fast as lightning as he ambushed them from amidst the rolling dust. Bam! With a kick landing on the butcher's chest, Long Fei's body sank, his right leg was almost broken from the impact. The butcher did not even move an inch, his huge eyes stared at Long Fei, he grinned and grabbed at him with one hand. It was also at this time. Ding! Congratulations to the player Long Fei for obtaining the Cannon Tower of the Hero Alliance. Are you free? F***CK. Chapter 1138 Status. Chapter 1138 Status F***CK. Hearing that, Long Fei was so excited that he shouted vulgarities. The heck? He can even hit the turret. I'm going to F***King admire myself. And then, Long Fei said without hesitation, "Release. Shoot these bastards." The idea moved, releasing the turret drawn in her mind. Boom. In the center of the Colosseum, there suddenly appeared a cannon tower that was exactly the same as the one in the Hero Alliance. At this moment, Long Fei moved, "Destroy these sons of bitches. Hurry up." Buzz. Long Fei's right arm became numb, and fell down from midair. The butcher's hand grabbed onto Long Fei, and with such a strong power, Long Fei was unable to move. All the bones in his body were about to break. It was extremely uncomfortable. The audience roared with excitement, "Eat him, eat him, eat him. Ha ha ha. He's going to die. It's his honor to die at the hands of a butcher. Let the slaves rest in peace." Butchers, butchers, butchers. At the same time as they cheered, someone asked a question. What is that statue in the middle of the field holding a magical staff-like thing in its hand? Why did such a thing suddenly appear? What the hell is this? They didn't understand. In the entire Chaos Realm, perhaps only Long Fei knew what it was. The butcher stared at Long Fei, who had revealed a head on his fist, revealed a disdainful smile, and said clumsily, "I want to bite off your head." Tremble, human. Incomparable arrogance. He opened his big mouth and bit down at Long Fei's head. At this moment, after the turret fell to the ground, a surge of power blasted out from the turret and locked onto the mouth of the butcher. Rumble. Rumble. A streak of flame burst out from the butcher's mouth. Ah ah ah. Ah. It let out a painful scream. Releasing his hand, Long Fei jumped out of his grasp and roared loudly, "Damn it, it's my turn now." The idea moved. He controlled the turret and locked onto the butcher, 10 combo attacks, blast. In the Alliance of Heroes, the turret had a range of attack. In the game, it didn't have a large range, but here. Hee hee. He covered the entire Colosseum. Long Fei ordered. The turret was quickly blasted out. Cannon after cannon landed heavily on the butcher's chest, smashing him against the wall and crushing him to death. The amount of blood on the head of the butcher rapidly decreased. Arrogant with your father? Ah. Long Fei was already on fire. Do give this daddy another chance to be arrogant again. His right leg recovered slightly as he rushed forward, landing on the head of the butcher. You are releasing all of your pressure on me with that eye of yours, right? Boom. With a move of his right fist, the power of King Kong fist struck down. Crack. His eyeballs were about to pop out. Ah! The butcher screamed miserably as he swung the stone axe in his hand. Without waiting for him to hit Long Fei, a stream of energy shot out from the cannon tower. Boom! It directly severed his arm. Blood poured down like a waterfall. Long Fei stood on top of the butcher's head, his gaze sweeping across, and asked, "You like watching this daddy's show, right? Come, come, come. Now I'll show you guys enough." His fists moved. He threw a punch at the butcher's head. Boom! With a loud noise, the butcher's head was smashed open, his HP quickly depleted. Long Fei took out his blooded fists. He roared out loud, "Fuck, who else is there?" An arrogant and domineering aura spread out. The entire battlefield was completely suppressed by Long Fei. The entire beast battle arena was silent. Everyone stared at Long Fei with their eyes wide open. It was also at this time. Ding! Congratulations to player Long Fei for killing Butcher for obtaining 3000 experience, 230 holy source points, and 1 energy values point. Congratulations to player Long Fei for obtaining Butcher's stone axe. 2 system notifications sounded out. Does the show look good? Huh! Long Fei roared once again, "That guy who likes to watch people being killed by Demon Beast, right? Let's see how you guys get killed by the Demon Beast." Long Fei's gaze was gloomy. He directly placed the butcher rock axe on his shoulder, and spoke to the Demon Beast. "Do you want to eat these people who were playing with you? Do you want to start a massacre?" Those Demon Beast looked at Long Fei as if they understood his words. Long Fei grinned and said, "Then let's just act unbridled." As soon as he finished, the situation became chaotic. What does he want to do? What is he trying to do? Don't worry, this beast battle arena is over 10 meters tall. No matter how powerful these demon beasts are, they won't be able to reach here. Indeed. To Long Fei, these demon beastess were like ants in water, unable to rush up at all. There was no need to worry at all. However, that was before. Can't rush up. Long Fei smirked as the idea moved to control the turret. It faced a thick wall and ordered, "Bomb it for me." The energy of the turret rotated and began to come crashing down. Boom, 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 boom. One shot after another. At this moment, everyone on the beast battling arena started to panic. Half a minute later, the high wall immediately opened up a path to the top. This time, forget about demon beastess, even 5-year-old children could climb it. It was also at this time. The holy source value in Long Fei's body flickered with a red light. It was also at this time that Long Fei noticed that the turret was a holy source that had been used up. Now, the holy source was exhausted and could not be used anymore. Long Fei did not care about all these. This was an excellent opportunity for him to escape, and was also the reason why Long Fei did not kill these demon beast. The demon beast walked to the front of the passage one by one. Crap. My God. Quickly run. Guards. Guards. Quickly block them. Roar. A demon beast roar sounded and it started to attack. He leaped 3 steps forward and rushed to the stands almost instantly, tearing a human apart in one bite. At the same time, the whole venue started to stir up chaos on a large scale. He no longer had the cheering expression he had on when he was watching the show. Long Fei stood in the center of the arena and coldly laughed. "Don't you like watching people play? Continue watching. Didn't you want to see your father being torn apart by the demon beast? Who is being torn apart by demon beast now?" Long Fei was not in a hurry as he walked towards the front step by step. In the dark, the powerhouse beside the slave owner frowned and said, "Master, do you need me?" The slave owner's eyes were cold as he said, No need, it's hard to catch him now. I didn't expect him to become so tough. It seems his power has awakened. The powerhouse's expression changed slightly as he said, Sir, if your power has awakened, then the identity of this 009 is. The slave owner's eyes slightly narrowed, and said, Chaos Realms number 1 power, Hellgate, Junior Master. Chapter 1139, Green Giant, Come Out. Chapter 1139, Green Giant, Come Out. Water City was in chaos. More than 20 demon beasts killed a group of spectators. The number of people they killed was very small, and most of them had been crushed to death. Boom. Lord, this is the 23rd demon beast, and also the last one. 8 fully armored guards carried a demon beast and walked over. A middle-aged man frowned with an extremely displeased expression. He was the master of the Water City. He was also a former disciple of the Yuan-Yang clan. Shen Tianhe. The beast battling arena was his biggest business, and his most important source of income. However, after doing this, the beast battling arena had basically been destroyed, and what made him even more unhappy was that after this event, the citizens, families, and nobles of the Water City would all be dissatisfied with him. If Yuan-Yang clan were to find out about this, then they would question his management ability. He had no way to explain who it was. Where's the slave? Shen Tianhe's eyes turned sinister. One of the guards said, that slave will take advantage of the chaos and blend it into the crowd. Right now, it will be difficult to find him. I wonder if he left the city. Not waiting for him to finish. Shen Tianhe slapped his face and shouted, Useless trash, you can't even find someone. Pass down my orders. Search the entire city. We must find him. I want to hang his head in the beast battle arena. Shen Tianhe was extremely angry and hated Long Fei to the bones. In another place. Yang Yu frowned. What exactly is that building? Why did they release energy cannons? What is it? Anu, do you know? Anu said, Elder, you've asked me 180 times, I really do not know, I have never seen that kind of thing. Yang Yu said, do you think it's an explosion of the blood veins talent? Anu shook his head and said, there are many kinds of blood vein inherent skills, but do you have any building blood vein inherent skills? I've never heard of it. Elder, now is not the time to think about this. The day of the Yuan-Yang clan's disciple selection is coming soon, we have to hurry back. If the great clan elder discovers us, we will be punished. They had snuck down the mountain this time. Going down the mountain without permission was the trigger for the clan's rules. Yang Yu did not mind Anu's words and asked, where do you think he's hiding? Anu grinned, I don't know where he's hiding, but I know that Water City's city lord Shen Tianhe will definitely not let him get away with it. He will definitely kill him in the search of the entire city. Yang Yu was startled, and said, then I'll stay. Anu was startled, he looked at Yang Yu and said, young miss, you are crazy. Anu realized that he had said the wrong thing, and immediately changed his words, Elder, we don't have much time, if the great clan elder discovered us, we would be dead. Yang Yu muttered, I've decided. Anu became excited and asked, have you decided to return to the Yuan-Yang clan? No. Yang Yu became excited and said, I have decided, that slave is the disciple I want to find. I want to bring him to Yuan-Yang clan to participate in the disciple selection this time. Heh. This decision is too great. Yang Yu walked out happily. Anu was stunned in place, and immediately turned speechless. Find it for me. Go all out. Even if I have to dig 3 feet deep, I still have to find him. Wang Shanha's face was filled with rage. Looking at his son's corpse, he became even more furious. I want that kid to die with my son. Many people were looking for Long Fei. Many people hated Long Fei to the bones. At night, Long Fei stood in front of a door that was moving in the dark and was somewhat in ruins. Carrying the butcher's axe on his shoulder, the corner of his mouth raised with a sneer, he murmured, I said, I will definitely come back. He did not leave the city. He never thought of running away. He had always been looking for the way, looking for the iron prison where Niu Dashan was imprisoned. He had said it before. He had to kill that powerhouse. We must kill the first boss of Chaos Realm. If they killed a boss, How could they not return? Moreover, he still had one more task to complete. The powerhouse walked into the slave owner's room and said in a low voice, "Master, I've already sent out the news. I believe it won't be long before they find out." The slave owner nodded. The powerhouse continued, "Master, you don't have to worry. Right now, Shen Tianhe and the Wang family are searching the entire city for that brat." The owner replied, "I hope so. We won't be able to keep our lives if we blame this." Long Fei's identity was very special. It was so special that it frightened them. Now, if Long Fei escaped their control, if he really escaped into the sky, and returned to the Hellgate, then the consequences would be. It wasn't something they could bear. At this moment. Rumble. The courtyard door was kicked out. Clang. The powerhouse was startled. Who dares to behave atrociously here? Your ancestor, me. The voice was very familiar. The slave owner's eyes narrowed as he grinned and sneered, "It's here to deliver itself to my doorstep." It was also at this time. A dozen strong men rushed out of the courtyard. One of them was the person who had punched Long Fei previously. He was also the first to recognize Long Fei, and said with a cold laugh, "009, it's your trash slave." Not waiting for him to finish, Long Fei suddenly moved. Boom. The butcher's axe swept out and beheaded him. "That's right, it's your ancestor, me. Get the hell out here, my dear boss." Long Fei laughed excitedly. At this moment, the powerhouse and the owner of the slave walked out of the room. The slave owner stared at Long Fei. Long Fei was also looking at him, drooling like a demon beast looking at its prey. After that, Long Fei calculated the size of the man in the courtyard and muttered, "Not bad, striking energy value can be accumulated once." The owner of the slave laughed coldly as he looked at Long Fei. "I didn't expect you to deliver yourself to me." Long Fei laughed, "If I don't kill you, how can I leave in peace?" The powerhouse laughed playfully, "Brat, you think that just because you can kill Wang Tai, kill the 3-star Benwolf, and kill the butcher, you can act presumptuously here? Ha ha ha. You are overestimating yourself. Do you understand?" At this moment, Long Fei did not have a holy source. His holy source could only be replenished by killing people, monsters, and pills. Moreover, although the turret had been retracted back into his body, without the holy source, it was still impossible to release any energy cannons. Without the holy source, there was nothing he could do. However, there was one thing he could do. Long Fei sneered as he looked at the powerhouse and took out a syringe. He poured the green liquid into his arm. It was barely a third of the original amount, not even an ounce more. Following that, the genes in Long Fei's body started to mutate violently. Long Fei sneered, "Overestimating yourself? Let's see who has overestimated himself. Green Giant, come out." Chapter 1140 Boss, break for me. Chapter 1140 Boss, break for me. The muscles on his body bulged. It grew bigger, turned green, and its muscles became muscles, bursting out with pure energy. He clenched his fists. Boom. An explosion sounded in the air. He picked up the butcher's stone axe and swung it over his shoulder. He snorted and stared at the powerhouse. "You are overestimating yourself. What a monster. What exactly is this guy? This is a monster." The sturdy man in the courtyard was so frightened that his legs turned weak. The strength from Long Fei's body, his skin and his dense chi were all crushed to the point that he felt extremely uncomfortable. The powerhouse felt his heart tremble. He swallowed his saliva and asked, "Master, is this the power he used after he awakened?" The slave owner was also dumbfounded. He only knew that the Hellgate was very powerful and the young master of the infernal realm was very powerful. However, he did not know what kind of power Long Fei had. Terrifying. The slave owner shook his head and said, "Stop him. Even if his power were to awaken and transform again, he would only be a yellow level 5, and would not be that strong." Before he could finish, Long Fei's voice disappeared and a string of green illusions rushed out. "Is that so?" He grabbed Powerhouse by the throat and raised him up into the air, staring straight at the owner of the slave. He smiled. "Isn't he strong enough?" Bam! Smash! The powerhouse did not even have the chance to retaliate and was smashed into the ground. He was dizzy and dizzy, his eyes shining, blood spurting out from his mouth as he said with difficulty, "Master, this, how is this not strong enough?" Not waiting for him to finish. Bam! He was sent flying again. Bam! Bam! The scene was a complete mess. Long Fei said lightly, "Do you still remember what I said to you back then? I said I'd kill you when I came out. Your father's words always count." Boom! Boom! After a few more heavy blows, the person could not withstand the power of the green giant at all, allowing his cultivation to be much higher than Long Fei's. However, he was just a weak chicken in front of the green giant. There was no longer any arrogance. The HP bar on top of his head rapidly bottomed out. A system notification rang out. Ding! Congratulations to player Long Fei for killing Little Luo. Reward, 1,900 experience points, 140 holy sauce, 10 energy values. Killed. It was exceptionally refreshing. So what if his cultivation is higher? So what if there were more people? Don't be cocky. If you are, then you will die. Furthermore, Long Fei was so excited in his heart, he thought to himself, "It's so good, the power of the green giant is so good, ha ha ha. No wonder his destructive power is this fierce. The upgraded version of the striking system is too much." This was the attribute of the striking system after it had leveled up. There was no need to not know. Once used, even Long Fei himself would be afraid. The damage of the explosion from the green giant. The cannon tower of the Berserk lottery was something that Long Fei wouldn't even dare to think of, yet it had been a mere few days since he entered the Chaos Realm. This type of feeling could only be described by one word. Awesome. Ha ha ha. Chaos Realm. F*CKU. Main Temple. Heavens, 9 days. Don't worry, I will kill you one by one. The corner of Long Fei's mouth hooked up into an excited smile. The striking system's growth had made Long Fei even more excited. As long as he had this striking system, so what if he had a sovereign? Don't give him a chance, or else he'll flip through once. Long Fei's gaze darkened, he stared at the shivering slave owner and laughed coldly. "Relax, it's not your turn yet, don't be too afraid, it's my boss." Finished. Long Fei's voice sank, and heavily shouted, "Did I let you leave?" Those lackeys were scared out of their wits by the scene just now. They wished they could grow a few more legs to run out, but, without waiting for them to run out, Long Fei shouted. Next. A green blur moved, grabbing a strong man and ferociously attacking. Crack. The neck was broken. The system beep rang. Ding. Congratulations to player Long Fei for getting 800 experience points for killing Little Luo, 50 holy sauce points, and 10 energy values points. Crack. Ding. Congratulations to player Long Fei for getting 800 experience points for killing Little Luo, 50 holy sauce points, and 10 energy values points. Ding. One punch, one punch, one punch, one kill. There was no way for him to survive. Long Fei did not show any mercy to these people, who knew how many slaves he had killed, and how many vicious people he had killed, all of a sudden. His experience points was going wild. The holy sauce value was recovering. His striking energy value was quickly returning to full. Boom. After the last subordinate Luo was killed, Long Fei's gaze turned and stared at the slave owner who was so scared that he could not move, and laughed, "Now it's your turn." Plop. The owner of the slave knelt on the ground and said, "Junior Master, don't kill me, I am only following orders. I beg you, please spare me." He was now certain that the youth master of Hellgate in front of him had completely awakened. The seal in his body had already been broken through. Right now, no one could resist him. Once he returned to the Hellgate, perhaps. Long Fei did not react to the words Junior Master, nor did he think about the identity of this body. In any case, he was him, and he was God's martial countenance Long Fei. Long Fei laughed, "I'll spare your life." Heh. Didn't you always want me dead? Who's going to give me equipment to spare your life? Spare the boss life. What a joke. It wouldn't be a big deal to spare a boss, but a brainless person was more like that. Suddenly, The system sounded out. Ding. System notification. There is still 10 seconds left to the effect of unrivaled Hauka. Long Fei felt a shiver in his heart. I can't waste any more time. At this moment, the slave owner saw that Long Fei did not have any intention to let him go. His eyes revealed a sinister look. He rushed forward and bellowed, "You are not forgiving me, I will not let you go either." That's more like it. This is what a boss should look like. Long Fei sneered. He moved the butcher's axe in his hand and swept towards him ruthlessly. Boom. The two forces collided. Long Fei's body retreated half a step as he thought to himself, this is bad, the less time there is, the weaker the medicinal effects will be. The slave owner was sent flying. He couldn't waste another second. Long Fei put down his stone axe and rushed forward. He grabbed the slave owner's waist and used all his strength to shout, "Break his waist." The slave owner struggled as he screamed. Crack. With a hug of his arms, the slave lord's spine broke. His body was paralyzed as he slid down from Long Fei's chest. It was also at this moment. The strength of the green giant on Long Fei's body was weakening rapidly. Die. Long Fei grabbed onto the last bit of the green giant's power and punched down. When his HP fell, so did his blood. The owner was dead. Long Fei plopped down on the ground, his face full of excitement. Release your striking energy value. Bring it on. Explode for me. Ding. Chapter 1141, The Unknown Series of the Universe, Fishing Rod. Chapter 1141, The Unknown Series of the Universe, Fishing Rod. The system beep rang. 100 points of level 1 striking energy value disappeared. Ding. Congratulations to player Long Fei for getting 5,000 experience points for killing Slave Master, 470 holy source points, 10 energy values points. Congratulations to player Long Fei for obtaining Hell's Token. Congratulations to player Long Fei for obtaining First Pin Healing Pill. Congratulations to player Long Fei for obtaining. It's all rubbish. Was disappointed, but the slave owner was just a little boss that did not drop anything good, so Long Fei had mentally prepared himself. Right now, he only cared about the explosion of his striking attribute. Ding. Congratulations player Long Fei for releasing striking energy value, obtaining a Berserk special item, Domain Treasure Series, Water God Treasure Series, Heavenly Court Series, Game Series, Wyman Series, Anime Series, Myth Series, Universe Unknown Series. Please choose. Long Fei rubbed his hands, swallowed his saliva, and was a little excited in his heart. Looking at the series of events, Long Fei once again fell into a state of fear. What should I choose? F***CK. Next time, Lousy will definitely give him a energy values of 80,000. Lousy will use this as the lottery draw. So the series has some descriptions. Other than the one series, the Universe series, all he showed were question marks. Long Fei muttered, I killed a boss. Logically speaking, my striking energy value should be able to drop some good stuff, since that's the case. Let's take a gamble. Choose the Universe's Unknown series. Long Fei moved his hand and confirmed it. Ding. Player confirmed that you have chosen the Universe Unknown series. Ding. Congratulations to player Long Fei for triggering level 1 Berserk energy, obtaining a set of Unknown Fishing Rod. Heh. Unknown Fishing Rod. Fishing Rod. What the hell? Long Fei was a little fierce as he muttered, I've never heard of it before. System, damn you, you're not going by the rules, what's the point of giving Lousy a fishing rod? Moreover, this unknown fishing rod was even made from bamboo. Just like the fishing rods from ancient times. This is an unknown universe. I don't know what the F***K is with you, or the F***K is with you in the universe. Long Fei cursed, he was truly unhappy. He had thought that the Universe's Unknown series was all about future technology, or something superb like dark matter or technology. However, this was a broken fishing rod. Just thinking about it, Long Fei felt infuriated. Was there such a thing as a scam? Long Fei sighed bitterly, and then the idea moved to check the attributes of the unknown fishing rod. Item, Unknown Fishing Rod Grade. Description: this fishing rod can be thrown into the unknown void, allowing it to travel through time and space to catch all living thing. Fishing for all living things in this world. Your father's large fishing rod can even pierce through all living things in the world. How can a broken fishing rod pierce through all living things in the world? Long Fei was a little contemptuous, then the idea moved its body. I want to see how you managed to fish for all living things in the world. The idea controlled the unknown fishing rod and threw it fiercely. Just as the item had described, the long line on the fishing rod was thrown into the endless void, which seemed like a huge lake's surface with a ding-dong sound. The fishing hook fell into the air. And then, silence. Long Fei waited for a few seconds, but there was no reaction from the fishing rod. Fut. What bullsh *t unknown fishing rod? System, go ahead and screw yourself. Long Fei ruthlessly despised her, and at the same time, changed back to his original appearance by her side. However, his body felt like it had weakened, incomparably uncomfortable. Phew. Huff, huff. Long Fei exhaled deeply and stood up. He looked at the sky. We cannot stay here for long, let's finish the mission first. The entire city was looking for him. If he was caught, he probably wouldn't be able to leave here alive. Long Fei quickly walked towards the dungeon in the backyard. As for the unknown fishing rod, Long Fei had forgotten about it. He didn't even think about it. Because, if he wanted to, he would probably have to greet the woman from the system again. A berserk opportunity wasted just like that. 2F** King stupid. Really irritable. Long Fei was not a patient person. When he entered this place, he immediately used the energy liquid from the Invincible Hulk to kill a whole bunch of them. If he could have dealt with them with one punch, he would not have used the second. Fishing required patience, and Long Fei was not suitable. However, with this lesson, even if he was beaten to death, he wouldn't so easily choose the universe's unknown series. This was too darned. What? Where did he go? All right. Send my order down, send all the guards over immediately. Shen Tianha's gaze turned cold. Brat, today, I will make sure that you will be eternally doomed. Water City guards quickly gathered and surrounded Long Fei. At the same time, Wang Shanhe also received the news. They were also rapidly mobilizing their disciples and rushing towards the direction of Long Fei's courtyard. Eldest miss, Elder, are we really going to wade in this muddy water? Anu muttered with her small mouth, but she was 100% unwilling, and said, Shen Tianhe will definitely not let him leave here alive. With Shen Tianhe's cultivation, even 100 yellow rank level 5 are not his match. I think we should forget about it. Yang Yu suddenly stopped, her eyes shining brightly, and said, That's right, if we saved him, wouldn't he be thanking me with tears of gratitude? In that case. Of course he'll come with me, ha ha. I really am a genius. There were 8 black lines on Anu's forehead. He no longer wanted to talk with Yang Yu. Yang Yu was completely engrossed in his own world. I must have him. I want those senior brother S to prove that it wasn't just them who can find the genius disciple, I can do it too. Humph. Anu, hurry up. Yang Yu urged. Her pace quickened. Boom. After the iron prison split open, Long Fei stood in front of the prison door and said with a smile, I said that I would come and save you, right? Niu Das Han was stupefied. With a face full of worship, he looked at Long Fei and said, Boss, you're too awesome, aren't you? What are you waiting for? Hurry up and leave. They couldn't believe what was happening in front of them. Many of them thought they were dreaming, that there was someone in this world who could save them. Long Fei urged them to recover. All of them were grateful and rushed out of the cage. When they all walked out of the dungeon one by one and entered the courtyard, the system sounded out. Ding. Congratulations player Long Fei for completing the quest with 3000 experience points, 300 holy source, you have obtained a special item. Ding. Congratulations to player Long Fei for obtaining a special item double experience card. Heh. Long Fei was shocked, and laughed. Double experience card, ha ha ha. This thing is awesome. It was also at this time. A voice traveled into the backyard. The people inside, listen up. You have been surrounded. The 2 words, kill, 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 kill. The two words, kill, 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 kill. Listen up, the rest of you are surrounded. Put down your weapons and surrender. When these two sentences came out, Long Fei was a little confused. Damn, a police movie? Following which, he mumbled, they came really fast. Can you blame others for being quick? The explosion from the green giant had alarmed half of the city. How could it be hidden? Nyo Dashan immediately asked, Boss, what's the situation? Everyone looked at Long Fei. They had no idea what was happening today, nor did they know who was surrounding them. In their hearts, they thought it was the people from the slave owners. Long Fei grinned. In his mind, he was thinking about how to use the double experience card. As for who was surrounding them, he casually said, I think it's the City Lord's mansion and the Wang family. Who cares? He said it in a very casual manner, but the way the people around him listened to him was like thunder striking their heads. Even the way they looked at him was different. A guard from the City Lord's mansion? Shen Tianha's people? He is a disciple of the Yuan Yang clan. Why did he offend the City Lord's mansion? What's going on with the people from the prince's mansion? Is there some kind of misunderstanding? They all started to get scared. Because they knew what kind of person Shen Tianhe was, and what sort of identity he had, provoking him in the Water City was equivalent to provoking death. He was simply courting death. Long Fei still looked indifferent, and said, nothing much, just kill Wang Tai, and cripple the beast battling arena. Let go of all the demon beast he caught. I'm afraid those demon beast will not kill anyone. How should I use it? Killing people or monsters? Right now, his mind was filled with thoughts of how to use the double experience card. This special item was too tempting. If it was used well, the upgrade would be like riding on a rocket. However, at this time, the expressions of those who had followed him out of the dungeon completely changed. Other than Nyo Dashan, all of them retreated backwards to create distance between them and Long Fei. Nyo Dashan was surprised for a moment, and said, What are you doing? Boss saved us, so what if we're surrounded by the City Lord's mansion? Right now, we should all unite to fight our way out. There's no need to be afraid of anyone. Humph. Nyo Dashan, you're powerful, you should go out with him, we don't want to die. You aren't afraid of death, we are afraid of death, we would rather live in the dungeon for a few more days than die with this madman. You're right. He's a madman. I think he saved us because he wanted us to be his cannon fodder, right? The looks on their faces instantly changed. You never know what people are thinking. Even if you saved him 1 second ago, he might just turn hostile the next. Nyo Dashan bellowed, What the fuck are you saying? Long Fei smiled, There's no need to bother, I've already rescued them and completed the mission, as for the rest, it's up to them. If it were not for completing the mission, other than Nyo Dashan, she would not have saved these people. Now the mission is complete. The life or death of these people had nothing to do with him. Long Fei didn't want to care about it. However, some people just like to be despicable. If you don't screw their mother, they won't know that you're their father. They all sneered and said, 009, don't talk about yourself so great, will you save us for no reason? Do you dare to say that you are not selfish? If you want us to be cannon fodder, then just say so. Exactly. What do you take us for? Do you really think you're that great? I was thanking you just now, but is someone like you worth our gratitude? Who do you think you are? All of them pointed at Long Fei and scolded. Long Fei's mouth hooked up, his gaze fixated on the slave who spoke just now, his figure moved, with a single step he appeared in front of him, his hand grabbing onto his throat as he coldly spoke, Be my cannon fodder? You don't even have the qualifications to be my cannon fodder, do you understand? The power in his hands stirred. Crack. The neck was broken. Ding. Congratulations, player. A system notification rang out. Long Fei swept his gaze across them and coldly shouted, Scram. The 5th level of the yellow rank was enough to crush these slaves. The slaves immediately scattered out, not daring to let out even half a fart. Humans were like this, if they were afraid, they wouldn't even dare to fart. However, when they were scattered, The back door of the courtyard was broken through and a large group of armored guards rushed in. "None of you are allowed to leave." In another place, in front of the main entrance, the Wang family disciples had also rushed in, while Long Fei and a dozen slaves stayed in the backyard. The entire backyard was filled with people. Long Fei calculated, it should be a few dozen. If it is combined with the double experience card, then it should be able to level up, right? Hee hee. Long Fei revealed an excited smile. There was killing intent in his smile. Those slaves immediately fell to their knees, begging for mercy. "Lord, we didn't do anything. It was all him, it was all him. We didn't do anything at all. Please spare my life, my lord." Long Fei found it funny, because of their slavishness. The leader of the guards walked over, coldly looked at Long Fei and Niu Dashan, and said, "Besides the two of them, kill them all. Lord, please spare our lives. Lord, we are brothers with 009, don't kill us. Boss, save us. Save us." At this time, Long Fei didn't even spare them a glance, because they no longer had the qualifications to let Long Fei take another look. Ah! Crack! Blood splashed everywhere as miserable screams filled the air. In the blink of an eye, over a dozen slaves were killed. The guards all had cold expressions on their faces. Killing someone was like killing a chicken, they didn't even bat an eyelid. In their eyes, slaves were not human at all. It was the same for Long Fei and Niu Dashan. The lives of slaves were like grass, but the lives of slaves were even worse than grass. What kind of world was this? Long Fei understood her better. Chaos Realm was a world filled with blood. This was the world that he liked the most. The commander coldly said, "Dog slave, are you obediently coming with us? Or should I do it? I'll give you a word of advice. It's best if you don't let me do it. Otherwise, you will only have half your life remaining." Very wild. He did not place Long Fei in his eyes at all, and those eyes of an expert moving about carried cold contempt. Long Fei was unhappy. Niu Dashan moved closer to Long Fei, asking softly, "Boss, what do we do?" Long Fei moved and clicked on the double experience card. Ding! Congratulations to player Long Fei for activating the double experience card for an hour. And then, the corner of Long Fei's mouth hooked into a death god-like smile, and he said, 2 words, "Kill them all." Chapter 1143 Next. Chapter 1143 Next. With that, a figure appeared. Long Fei's figure moved, and the grade 9 divine art wind god leg swept out, directly kicking onto the body of one of the armored guards. The guard was forced to retreat. However, Long Fei did not let go of this opportunity. Both of his fists moved, and the King Kong fist set combined with the King Kong fist, attacking the guard's chest quickly, just like Hao Yi when possessed his body. Bang, bang, bang. Blood spurted out of his mouth as a string of damage figures rose up into the air above his head. Boom. His body flew backwards and crashed into the wall. Die. Ding. Congratulations to player Long Fei for killing Water City Guard for obtaining 13002 experience, 100 holy source points, 10 energy values points. Double EXP burst. Double EXP. Long Fei laughed excitedly in his heart. Sweeping his eyes over, he said arrogantly and domineeringly, "Next." Arrogant beyond belief. The surrounding people were all dumbfounded. Niu Dashan had become so strong in just a few days. It was also at this time. The guards were all infuriated. The leader of the guards shouted, "City Lord has given the order to resist, kill him." The guard moved. All of them drew their weapons and stepped forward, locking the encirclement in half. On the other side, the elite disciples of the Wang family were also preparing to take action. I, Niu Dashan, am also here. Niu Dashan's strong, 3-meter-tall body charged forward like a small mountain. He roared out, "Boss, kill." He gave a hug and threw one of the guards into the air. It was also at this moment. Long Fei's right foot shot out, and he flew into the air. His right leg swept across ferociously, smashing the guard onto the ground, bending his knees, and suppressing the kneecap firmly. Critical hit. Poochie. The guard's body caved in as he spat out a large mouthful of black blood. The gash on his head also quickly became visible. The system sounded out yet again. Ding! Long Fei said excitedly, "Next. Too arrogant." The commander was exceptionally angry. After 2 of his bodyguards were killed, his anger was also boiling. With a step forward, he instantly appeared in front of Niu Das-han. He leaned on his shoulder heavily. Boom! Niu Das-han fiercely retreated backwards. The commander rushed forward again, and in that moment, he unsheathed the blade at his waist and slashed towards Niu Das-han's head. It was too fast. However, this speed was a bit slower than the wind god leg. Long Fei's legs moved, borrowing the power of the wind god. He kicked away the blade in the commander's hand, and then kicked again. Boom, boom, boom. The power of the 9-ranked deity tier cultivation technique was unleashed to its limits by Long Fei. After painstakingly training in the dungeon for 2 days, when the wind god leg reached the 2nd realm, the power that exploded would naturally be different. Even if the guard commander's cultivation was much higher than his, the crushing pressure on his cultivation technique caused the commander to be caught off guard. The commander was pushed back. Long Fei also took the opportunity to flip backwards, landing beside Niu Das-han. He glanced at the amount of blood on the commander's head, and muttered in his heart, "Damn, what a strong defense." The series of wind god leg's explosive kicks did not deal too much damage. Could it be that he has defensive equipment on him? No way. With my current strength, killing him will be a little difficult. I have to hurry and level up. Long Fei's mind flew. There was only one way to obtain greater power: upgrade. After pushing back the commander, Long Fei laughed with contempt. "You want to kill me? Even if your Dog's Hit City Lord himself came, it would be useless, let alone you." The moment he spoke, Long Fei quickly grabbed one of his guards and bombarded him with King Kong fist. The commander's expression turned ugly. Being looked down on by a slave was a great humiliation to him. He roared, "You dog, today your father will cripple you. Kill." Everyone attack together. Boom, boom. All the guards surrounded him and attacked with all kinds of power. Niu Das-han followed closely behind Long Fei, firmly protecting his back. As the Water City guards struggled to kill Long Fei, the encirclement of the Wang family's elite disciples also shrunk. They would also definitely not let Long Fei escape. On the roof, Yang Yu and Anu watched the scene quietly. Yang Yu was an individual who liked to not admit defeat the more he opened the door. He had an imposing aura that no one was afraid of, and as he watched Yun Che fight in the crowd, he asked softly, "What is your limit? Or do you mean you have no limit at all?" She wanted to know. How could a slave without a gifted vein be this strong? Moreover, the feeling Long Fei gave her wasn't that of a slave at all, but that of a wild and unruly giant demon owl who hated evil like it was his enemy. Anu said in a low voice, "Clan Elder, he is about to die, are you going to save him or not?" Yang Yu looked at the Long Fei who already had many wounds on his body, and said faintly, "He can still persevere. To save someone, you have to do it at the most critical moment. Only then will he be able to remember my good points and be grateful to me. Only then will I be able to make excessive requests." Heh. The great senior brother taught me this. Actually, Yang Yu was even more curious to know just how long Long Fei could endure for. From Long Fei's expression, he didn't care that he was injured at all. He didn't have a look of despair in his eyes. Ding. Congratulations to player Long Fei for killing Water City Guard for obtaining 13002 experience, 100 holy source points, 10 energy values points. His energy values had reached a full 100 points. However, Long Fei did not have the mind to care about all this right now. As long as he made a slight clone, he would probably be hacked to death by a blade. Kill. Little bastards, just you 2 trash slaves, I want to see how long you guys can hold out for. The guard commander stood at the side with a cold smile on his face. Hurry up, don't give them a chance to catch their breath. More than 20 guards sped up their attacks. Long Fei shot a glance at the commander in the distance and laughed coldly. Blind asterisk 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 asterisk, don't be so cocky, I'll come and kill you later. Mountain. Niu Das-han's eyes darkened, and said, "Me understands." Boom. Nyo Dashan leaned his body forward, opened his eyes wide, and like two cow eyes, stared at one place before fiercely crashing into it. Long Fei followed closely behind. Wind God leg. Sweep the enemy. Long Fei shouted. Without caring about his life, Nyo Dashan rushed forward and knocked over a large group of guards, causing them to flip their horses over. Long Fei took the opportunity and started to kick crazily. Bang, bang, bang. At the same time, the guards on the other side quickly attacked as well. The blade slashed through Long Fei's back. The skin was ripped apart, and the cut was so deep that one could see bone. The back of his shoulder was continuously injured. Long Fei acted as if he did not feel any pain, his legs did not stop moving, and continued to strike ferociously, each kick becoming more severe than the last, causing more damage. Just a little more and I'll level up. Chapter 1144, The First Time on the Golden Cudgel. Chapter 1144, The First Time on the Golden Cudgel. Little bastard, you're dead meat. Ha ha ha. Seeing that Long Fei's back was continuously being attacked, he saw that Nyo Dashan was already sprawled on the ground. Long Fei no longer had any protection. He was going to die soon. The commander laughed complacently. Just a small slave like you is fighting with me. TMPH, you don't even have the qualifications, do you understand? You dare to oppose our city lord palace? Even your family's 18 generations of ancestors are not enough. Very arrogant. Long Fei's entire body was drenched in blood. From the commander's point of view, he was already not far from death, and had reached the end of his road. Long Fei did not stop. Even though the system kept emitting red alarm saying that his health point was too low. However, Long Fei still did not stop, and continued to crazily attack. Yang Yu stood up, stared at the blooded Long Fei, and frowned, saying, I can't let him die here. Anu grabbed onto Yang Yu and said, Elder, look at him, he's already so injured that he can't be saved anymore. Even if you can save him, he'll still die. We'll talk about it later. He is a slave. The slaves in the Chaos Realm are not qualified to enter any sects, and don't have the qualifications to cultivate in the martial way. You are not allowed to bring him into the Yuan Yang clan. Miss, please listen to my advice, do not bother with this matter. Although Shen Tianhe is not in the Yuan Yang clan, he has many connections there, why do you need to offend him for a mere slave? This is not good after all. Anu advised, she could not let Yang Yu lose his head. Slaves were slaves. Lowly level people. In this world, slaves did not have the qualifications to train in martial arts. They had even less right to enter a sect. Even if Yang Yu saved Long Fei, she wouldn't be able to bring him to Yuan Yang clan. Moreover, it was really not worth it to offend Shen Tianhe's power for a mere slave. Yang Yu didn't care about all that. The person she wanted to save did not care about who she was, she wanted to save him. However, just as she was about to fly down, there was a sudden change in the yard. The commander was still laughing wildly with pride and contempt. Trash, stop struggling, you're about to see the king of hell, ha ha ha. In your next life, don't provoke me, or else I'll kill you again, ha ha ha. Just when he was laughing arrogantly, Long Fei's fists exploded, directly blowing one of the guards' head off. He stood still on the spot, the corners of his mouth raised with a hint of a smile. Ding. Congratulations to player Long Fei for killing Water City Guard for obtaining 13002 experience, 100 holy source points, and 10 energy values points. Ding. Congratulations to player Long Fei for leveling up. Current level, yellow rank, 6. The moment Long Fei leveled up, all the wounds on his body instantly healed without even a scar. All the attributes in his body were fully filled. Health point. The value of the holy source, completely recovered. Cluck, cluck, cluck. Long Fei's neck lightly shook as his joints exploded. Clenching his fists, another series of critical explosions resounded. He coldly stared at the commander, pointed a finger at his face, and said, "It's your turn." Upgraded. His strength had increased. Long Fei's attributes had also become stronger by a bit. Moreover, at this moment, The most important thing was that everyone was stunned. None of them understood why Long Fei was not dead at all. Furthermore, all the wounds on his body were completely healed, as if he was not injured at all. Why is that? No matter how good a pill was, it would not be able to achieve this. In the instant when these people were also stunned, Long Fei suddenly moved. He heavily kicked the commander in the chest. The commander's expression changed and his reaction was slower by half a beat. When he felt Long Fei's strength, his heart felt a wave of shock. His strength has become stronger. That's not right. His cultivation. He just made a breakthrough in that instant. Why is that? The commander's mind was in a mess, but without waiting for Long Fei to make his second move, he suddenly rolled on the ground, dodging Long Fei's continuous kicks. His eyes darkened as he said, "Yellow rank 6th pin, I didn't expect you to break through in battle. However, so what? He still has to die in front of me." The long saber moved. Attacking Xiong Longfei, the power of yellow rank level 9 exploded out. His speed was as fast as lightning. Long Fei's sense and idea could not keep up with the commander's speed at all, and there was even a difference in their levels. His heart trembled slightly, and he thought to himself, still not enough. F***CK. So F***King annoying. I'm not wasting time with you, your father's double experience is precious. Long Fei moved his right hand and shouted, "Golden cudgel, buzz." Shua. A small toothpick that was as thin as an embroidery needle flew out and slowly grew in size in the air, turning into a rod that landed in Long Fei's hand. Grabbing the stick with both hands, he didn't even think as he charged toward the commander. He didn't care about the commander's position and directly smashed the stick down. The stick grew longer and bigger. A pole shadow came down. The shadow of the rod extended as far as 1,000 meters. And then, everyone heard a crisp sound. Paji. It was like a toad being crushed into a pile of meat. After that was a series of explosions. All the buildings within 1,000 meters were split into two by a pole shadow, causing the entire water city to tremble. It shook violently. The scene was extremely eye-catching. The explosion brought lightning. In addition, a long crack appeared on the ground. The crack looked like it was made by a divine sword, and was extremely sharp. This was the first time the golden cudgel had attacked. This scene. Not to mention the people around Long Fei, even Long Fei himself was a little baffled. I just wiped and circled around. Do you need to be so fierce? Do you have to be so cruel? Isn't this a bit too much? He was truly shocked. The commander of a level 9 yellow rank was killed in an instant. The buildings within 1,000 meters of the city were reduced to ruins. People kept running out from the streets and shouted, "It's an earthquake! An earthquake!" Moreover, there were also some naked people who scolded, "Who the hell is so wicked? I just crawled onto a woman's bed, and I haven't even entered the cave, yet I'm already like this. F***CK, you actually climbed into my wife's room? Old Wang, Lousy has misjudged you. I will kill you." At the same time, Long Fei's words had woken everyone up from their stupor in Water City. Several disciples of large families quickly reported, "This damn slave is too arrogant. I can't let him go. Disturb from my beautiful dream, I will kill him. Whoever breaks my home, I'll fight with them." It was because of this staff. And then, it caused public outrage. All of the warriors in Water City rushed towards Xiong Longfei's position, brimming with killing intent. Long Fei looked at the golden cudgel in his hands, then looked at the stunned elite disciples of the Wang family and the Water City guards, as Long Fei laughed sinisterly. "Hehe, I'm going to kill crazily. Golden cudgel. Explode." Chapter 1145, Sweeping the Field. Chapter 1145, Sweeping the Field. What is a golden cudgel? It was the super divine weapon that caused a huge commotion in the Heavenly Palace. It was the second stage of the main artifact's evolution. How fierce was this? There was no need to be clueless, it gave him a fright. Long Fei himself was a little afraid. The surrounding people were trembling even more so as they looked at Long Fei. When they saw the look in his eyes, they felt as if they were looking into the eyes of a death god. Hee hee. The golden cudgel in Long Fei's hand turned, and laughed. Didn't you want my life? Come and take it now. F***ck. Come on. Long Fei roared. No one dared to take a step forward, as they were all shocked by Long Fei. Long Fei laughed sinisterly. You guys aren't coming, right? I'm here. With that, he smashed down with his staff. The pole shadow extended for another 1,000 meters, overturning everything and causing the entire yard to split open. Those guards were instantly killed. Ding, ding, ding. The system beeps echoed crazily. Long Fei sighed. This is the right tempo. Now it's your Wang family's turn. Rumble. Long Fei smashed down with his staff, sending another wave of disciples flying. Another shadow of a rod more than 1,000 meters long shot out, and the entire water city began to shake violently. The might of the main artifact burst forth. Main artifact was a taboo item. Is also a power of taboos. However, Long Fei was different. If there was something good that he did not use, then why did he use it? Do you want to put it at home? Is this an orgasm? Good things naturally had to be used, and had to be used crazily, to let it unleash all of its power. That was what good things could do. That was also Long Fei's personality. Danced crazily after he had experienced the power of the golden cudgel. Want to escape? Eat this daddy's blow. Boom. It was immediately flipped over. With Long Fei at the center, it was as if a 8-trigram formation had been split into pieces in all directions, causing the entire water city to tremble violently. If the first blow had not caused public outrage, then now, completely infuriated, Long Fei had already become public enemy number 1. Come on, come hit me. Long Fei waved his staff and smashed downwards again, smashing the building beside him into two. 2 figures descended from the skies. They were not overturned like the guards. They calmly flew down, and with a single glance, one could tell that their cultivation was extraordinary. Long Fei smirked and laughed. Finally, 2 strong people have come. You want my life too? Come, come, come. This is the time for Lousy to be happy. Long Fei hooked his fingers at Yang Yu. Anu reprimanded angrily, and said, How dare you be so frivolous, you're powerless, Without waiting for her to finish speaking, Yang Yu took a step forward and said, I am here to save you, all the warriors of Water City are rushing here, if you do not leave now, it will be too late. She was telling the truth. Long Fei looked at Yang Yu, and said, I'm very sorry, I do not need you to save me. So what if all the warriors from the city come here? Just kill them all. And then? Long Fei looked around but did not see any Water City guards or disciples of the Wang family. He then picked Niu Dashan up from the ground and carried the golden cudgel on his shoulder. She did not pay any attention to Yang Yu. He strode out onto the messy street. Anu said angrily, he's too arrogant, what does he count as? However, Yang Yu became more and more interested in Long Fei, and said, I like you because you have such a personality. Anu said in a speechless manner, Miss, could you possibly have some integrity to you? We kindly reminded him, but he did not appreciate our kindness at all. They actually didn't need our help. Let's leave quickly, Shintianha's people are about to arrive. Hey, hey, hey. Miss. Anu was furious. Because Yang Yu did not listen to her at all, and when she saw that Long Fei had left, she immediately followed him. Yang Yu's face was full of excitement. What's your name? Do you have a name? Where are you from? Do you have a gifted vein? How did you manage to heal the wound in an instant? Why did you become a slave at such a strong power? About that, do you want to follow me? If you can't do it, then I'll just follow you. Are you going to accept me as your little sister? No. Are you accepting me as your little brother? What kind of magical equipment is that on your shoulder? Its power is so strong. Can't you talk to me? Chattering like 100 sparrows chirping around you, that kind of feeling. It caused Long Fei to have the urge to go on a rampage. Both of his eyes were enraged as he stared at Yang Yu and bellowed, I don't have time to care about you. Finished. He pointed at Yang Yu and said, don't follow me. If you follow me again, I won't be polite to you. However, as Long Fei was speaking, Yang Yu gently stroked the golden cudgel with both of his hands, not listening to what Long Fei said at all. He kept saying, "What a powerful magical artifact, why can't I feel any aura from it? What rank is this treasure? How did you get it? Can I touch it?" Long Fei was about to go crazy. This was 10,000 times more annoying than Tang's yarn. Long Fei really had the urge to smash her to death. Too annoying. Long Fei withdrew his staff, and said, "Brother, I'm begging you, don't follow me, and don't nag anymore. If you follow me again, I really want to smash you to death with my staff. Do you believe me?" "I do." Yang Yu nodded his head earnestly. "But without me, you won't be able to leave this place. Don't worry, I will bring you out of the water city, but from today onwards, you will be following me." Long Fei looked at her. He looked at her very seriously. Long Fei could not help but ask, "Are you sick?" Yang Yu smiled slightly. "Do you have the medicine?" Long Fei was instantly speechless. Yang Yu said, "From today onwards, you will follow me. I will bring you out, and also, this staff in your hands is indeed powerful, but look at your holy source. It should be more or less used up, right?" Just as he said. Just like the skills in the game, the activation of skills required a lot of mana and energy. The golden cudgel in Long Fei's hands was the same. "I also need the holy source." It was only when Yang Yu said this that Long Fei noticed. He only had less than a quarter of his holy source left right now, but he had just leveled up, and he had also killed so many guards and disciples. However, not really, Long Fei's holy source had been seen through. Chapter 1146, One Sword and Half Blood. Chapter 1146, One Sword and Half Blood. The golden cudgel had consumed a lot of holy source. Looking at Long Fei, who was stunned, Yang Yu immediately said, "I told you the right thing, following Big Sis. Follow me and I'll make sure you get out of here safely." Long Fei looked at her and said, "Not interested." Yang Yu bit his lips and said, "Then I'll follow you. That should be fine, right?" Long Fei really could not take it anymore, and said, "Where exactly did you see my interest in? Can I change it?" Yang Yu said, "I think you're especially fun." Long Fei. He was truly speechless. It was also at this time. Shen Tianhe's army of guards rushed over like a tide. On the other main streets, members of the Wang family, the Li family, the Chen family, and the Water City's large families had all arrived. They surrounded Long Fei and the rest. Wow! There are so many people. Long Fei was a little excited, but when he saw Shen Tianhe, he was even more excited. Because, in the darkness of the night, Shen Tianhe was like a lantern, radiating with a golden light. The city lord level boss. Furthermore, Long Fei looked at the large group of people around him. Adding all the Water City guards and the surrounding clan disciples, there would be at least several hundred of them. 10 energy values per person, and 1,000 energy values points for 100 people. There are thousands of energy values here. This way, I can open the second level of Berserk energy. Heh. Thinking about the Berserk energy series, Long Fei couldn't help but become excited. Domain Treasure series, Water God Treasure series, game, anime, Heavenly Court series. What kind of things can the energy of the secondary violent ghost produce? Gudong. Long Fei swallowed his saliva greedily. At the same time, his brain suddenly thought of the unknown series in the universe that the unknown fishing rod had released. He immediately had the urge to curse in his heart. His spiritual consciousness slightly moved. Sensing the movement of the unknown fishing rod in the air, it felt very light, as if there was a fish biting on its bait. However, Long Fei didn't mind. So what if there was bait? At most, he would only be able to catch a fish. What use could a fish have? Eat. He instantly lost all interest. Therefore, Long Fei did not bother about him. At this time, Shen Tianhe glared as he stared coldly at Long Fei and said, "A mere little slave like you has turned my city into this. If I don't kill you today, I will write down the words Shen Tianhe." Long Fei smiled. "No need to write backwards, I will make you write while kneeling." Without waiting for him to finish speaking, Yang Yu immediately said, "Don't speak, I have a way." Long Fei muttered, "What method do you have?" Yang Yu smiled and said, There are many things in this world that do not need to be solved by force. Finished. Yang Yu took a step forward, as if he had already reached an agreement, coughed lightly, and said, City Lord Shen, I think there must be a misunderstanding here. Shen Tianhe coldly glanced at Yang Yu, and said, Who do you think you are? Scram to the side. If you dare say another word, I'll kill you as well. Yu's eyes darkened. He was getting angry. However, Yang Yu smiled and said, City Lord Shen, please calm the flames. F***CKU. Go to hell. I don't have time to care about you right now, I only want this brat's life. Get the hell away from me. Shen Tianhe was furious. The entire water city was in a mess. How could he explain it to him now? How was he going to explain this? To be made into such a state by a mere slave, if he were to say it like that, he would be laughed at until death. Although he had many connections in the Yuan Yang clan, it was still difficult to protect him. Yang Yu's face turned ugly. Long Fei walked to his side and whispered, Continue, didn't you say you have a way? Is this your way? Yang Yu suddenly turned around, looked at Anu, and said, Anu, go. This is so infuriating. Both of Yang Yu's hands rested on his waist, his chest moved up and down slightly, surprising Long Fei. His eyes widened as he immediately understood, she's a little girl. Moreover. And she's even a big-chested girl. Anu walked out, looked at Shen Tianhe and said, A mere city lord dares to be so presumptuous, you're courting death. As soon as he finished, Anu's eyes darkened, his figure became as illusory as a sword. Swift charge. Shen Tianhe's eyes turned sinister, this move. Without waiting for him to react, Anu thrust it out. Fast, incomparably fast. It could be said that Long Fei had never seen a sword this fast. Shen Tianhe's face changed as he used all his strength to defend. Boom! Shen Tianhe was forced to retreat, the qi and blood in his chest was boiling, he spat out a mouthful of blood, poochie. Anu's body bounced, and like a dragonfly touching the water, he returned to Yang Yu's side. His eyes were filled with anger, and he snorted coldly, If you dare be arrogant again, I'll take your dog life. Long Fei had seen the previous strike very clearly. Ultra-critical strike. A single sword strike had taken half of Shen Tianhe's life. His HP instantly fell to half. So powerful. Long Fei was shocked. At this time, Yang Yu smiled slightly and said, City Lord Shen, can we have a good talk now? Talk about a hammer. While he's sick, I want his life. Long Fei shouted and rushed out. He would never miss such an excellent opportunity. The boss HP had already been reduced by half. If this wasn't enough, then what else could he do? Seeing Long Fei rushing out, Yang Yu's face was filled with shock. Anu's expression also changed greatly. Their hearts sank at the same time. Crap. Yang Yu said, It's over, this time. This is bad. Sigh. Anu only knows this move, and was unable to instantly kill him with it. Why was he so impulsive? Anu immediately pulled Yang Yu back and said, Miss, it's still too late for us to retreat. With my previous deterrent force, no one would dare to touch us. Yang Yu shook his head, I can't leave him alone. Niu Dashan looked at the two of them muttering at the side, and immediately shouted out, What are you still waiting for? Let's attack together. Boss, I'm here. Niu Dashan rushed forward. Shen Tianhe's gaze turned sinister. He had been severely injured by Anu's sword attack and had originally wanted to lessen it, but as Long Fei charged over, the anger in his heart instantly gushed out. With a heavy shout, he shouted, Kill! Several other clan disciples also rushed up like a tide. Almost in an instant, Long Fei was surrounded by the surging crowd. Yang Yu clenched his teeth and said, We're risking everything, let's fight with them. Blindly, he rushed forward. Anu couldn't even pull her back, he could only rush up together with her. At some point, the unknown fishing rod that Long Fei threw into the air slowly floated back into the air. There was a fish that was about to take the bait. Chapter 1147, This is the Rhythm. Chapter 1147, This is the rhythm floating and sinking, it should be up to the fish. However, Long Fei didn't care about it though. Right now, He had to grab the last 10 or so minutes of the double experience card to crazily kill him. A boss with half of its HP remaining was right in front of him. Long Fei ruthlessly kicked the sword wind god leg consecutively. His body sank, and his two fists once again struck out violently. Boom! Boom! After a few consecutive explosions, Long Fei sent a few of his bodyguards flying and also surrounded himself. At this time, Shen Tianhe also quickly retreated. He shouted, "Kill them! Kill them all! Too many people!" Moreover, these people were all at least yellow rank level 5, and were all elites. It instantly trapped Long Fei inside. Long Fei was simply unable to break through the human wall. The people of the few big families also rushed forward, blocking Long Fei's way, and quickly wrapped him up. There was no way out. Damn! Long Fei moved, activate the green giant's energy liquid. Ding! System prompt, unable to use it within 24 hours. Holy **T. Long Fei cursed angrily in his heart. The energy liquid has a time limit and cannot be used again until the time limit is reached. Bam! Niu Dashan was flung out by his palm and landed heavily beside Long Fei. He spat out a mouthful of blood and crawled up from the ground with difficulty. "Boss, there's more and more people coming." Yang Yu also came closer. Long Fei looked at her and said, "Hurry and let your Anu go, let her kill that Shen Tianhe." Another sword attack from before was enough to instantly kill Shen Tianhe. Yang Yu's face sank, and said, "Anu only knows one move, the one move just now consumed all of her holy sauce." Long Fei looked at Yang Yu and said, "If your followers are so powerful, then you must be even more powerful, right?" Yang Yu said awkwardly, "About that, I don't have any cultivation." Long Fei was startled, seeing Yang Yu's serious face. He was not lying. "I was wondering, you don't know martial arts training? Then why are you still here? You still want to bring me out of here safely? Aren't you afraid of losing your tongue?" Long Fei really didn't understand. Anu stared angrily at Long Fei, and bellowed, "You better be polite, or..." Long Fei rolled his eyes at her, and said, "Otherwise, what about it? You have already used up your holy sauce, you are already a cripple, what else can you do?" Anu stared at Long Fei angrily. "You..." Long Fei waved his hand, "You can stop now." At this time, Yang Yu stepped forward again, and said loudly, "With the order badge of the Yuanyang clan's clan elder here, who dares to move it?" The voices spread out around them. The surrounding people instantly quieted down. They all looked at the order badge that Yang Yu had raised in midair. Shen Tianhe frowned and sneered, "If you are an elder of Yuanyang clan, then I am the sect master of Yuanyang clan. There is no elder in Yuanyang clan who doesn't know how to cultivate. You are just an imposter. You are actually pretending to be an elder of the Yuanyang clan. Your crime is even greater. Kill." He was very familiar with the elders of the Yuanyang clan. He'd seen all the outer court elders before, and he didn't have such a command medallion. Moreover, Yuanyang clan was an overlord of a circumference of millions of kilometers. Every single elder of Yuanyang clan was an expert out of 10,000. The Yang Yu in front of them was simply a piece of trash. Shen Tianhe was sure that Yang Yu was an imposter. Shua! An arrow was fired. Long Fei reacted quickly and pushed Yang Yu down to the ground, pressing his arm down right on top of Yang Yu's twin peaks. The command medallion was immediately thrown into the air. Yang Yu stared at Long Fei in a daze. Anu swiftly rushed up and saw Long Fei's arm pressing down on Yang Yu's chest. He immediately became furious and shouted, "Take your claws away from me." Niu Dashan said in annoyance, "What's with your attitude? If it wasn't for my boss, his hands would have been crippled." Long Fei pretended not to know anything. He pressed one hand on Yang Yu's chest, and fiercely scratched it, then said, "We're all men, why are you so excited?" Yang Yu's chest was grabbed, and her eyes stared straight at Long Fei. Long Fei was like a scoundrel as he smiled blandly, "What do you think?" While they were talking, he then grabbed another mountain and ruthlessly rubbed it. He thought to himself, the elasticity is not bad. It should not have been bud opened. At this moment, Yang Yu and Anu were about to go crazy. However, Shen Tianhe's men and the few people from the large families were even crazier than them as they rushed towards them in a crazed manner. Boom! Boom! 4 people were simultaneously hit and blown away at the same time. The 4 of them fell together. The order badge that fell to the ground also disappeared, causing Yang Yu's face to turn pale. Anu, on the other hand, huffed and huffed. To actually dare to be so rude to Yuan Yang clan, you people are dead for sure. Long Fei disdainfully said, don't bother with the Yuan Yang clan elders, this place is not good. Now let me ask you, do you have any pills on you? Long Fei needed pills. He needed a large amount of pills to replenish his holy source. As long as he had enough holy source, he would be able to use the golden cudgel again and sweep through everything. Yang Yu was startled, and asked, are you injured? Pills? Do you want a healing pill? Yang Yu said as he took out a small porcelain bottle from his bosom. There are 10 healing pills here. Long Fei did not care so much and immediately swallowed it. He then asked, is there anything else? Are there any other pills? Yang Yu took out an exquisite little bottle. Her current methods were completely useless, she could only rely on Long Fei to walk out of there. She took out all of the pills. Just as he wanted to hand it over, he was stopped by Anu, who said, this is your life-saving pellet, you cannot give it to me. Long Fei glanced at Yang Yu. Yang Yu shook it off and handed the bottle over to Long Fei. I trust you. Long Fei did not hesitate to raise his head and swallow the pill. There was only 1 pill in the small bottle. But such a pill, Long Fei's entire body became hot and dry, his holy source value instantly increased to a maximum. This pill is so powerful. At this moment, a large group of people charged forward. Long Fei wiped the bridge of his nose and slowly walked forward, then looked at Yang Yu and the others and said, all of you, stand back for me. I'm going to smash this city into pieces. He opened his right hand, and the golden cudgel landed in it, dancing fiercely. 108,000 kilograms of strength flourished like a tiger in Long Fei's hands. Bang! With a swing of the staff, a group of people was sent flying. Long Fei dragged his afterimage and rushed into the crowd, the golden cudgel in his hands attacking crazily. The entire water city began to crumble and the ground began to crack. With a swing of the staff, those people could not withstand it at all. The experience points exploded. His holy source value also soared. The system beep was going wild. Ding, ding, ding. Chapter 1148 F***CK. It really is a huge object. Chapter 1148 F***CK. It really is a huge object. Kill your father? Come on. F***CK. Come to lousy with all this. The golden cudgel in Long Fei's hands swept horizontally, and no one could get close. One would smash one to death, and one would sweep away a pair. The Water City guards were quickly retreating. The faces of the clan disciples all became pale. There were puddles of flesh on the ground, and blood was flowing all over the ground. Countless buildings in the Water City were shaken and collapsed. Long Fei had become a devil. A homicidal maniac. Come on. Shen Tianhe, King didn't kill me, right? Come and kill me. Long Fei roared, the golden cudgel in his hand sweeping across, as he walked in and out of the uninhabited realm, only that. There were too many people on the other side. Long Fei was still not able to do what Han Bie had done, he had directly erupted his main artifact's power to defend against the god's suffering force. Right now, he could only barely deal with the yellow-level warriors. The most crucial point. The consumption rate of Holy Source S by Golden Cudgel was simply too fast. In less than 5 minutes, Long Fei's Holy Source points were all used up. However, right now, no one dared to come up, and no one dared to retreat either, surrounding Long Fei. Shen Tianhe stood at the back of the crowd with a face full of anger, staring at Long Fei as if he was his own arch-enemy, exceptionally angry. Long Fei glanced at the experience slot. I still have a lot of experience before I level up. Seems like. Long Fei stared at Shen Tianhe with unwillingness in his heart, because he no longer had the power to deal with Shen Tianhe. His holy source was exhausted, and he was no longer able to use the Green Giant's energy liquid. It was more important to keep his life. Since the boss wouldn't leave, he could just come back and kill it next time. Long Fei slightly said, "Who dares to block this father? This father will smash him to death with a rod." His expression was like that of a god of death. Long Fei said, "Mountain, bring the two of them with us. We are leaving." Long Fei led the way and slowly walked towards the crowd, with an extremely arrogant manner. The people who were blocking in front of him slowly backed off. They were extremely afraid of the staff in Long Fei's hands. They had never seen such power before. Too powerful. Shen Tianhe's face was extremely unhappy. At the same time, he was staring at the golden cudgel in Long Fei's hand. What exactly is this spirit treasure? Too strong. If I can get it. If you hand it over to Yuanyang clan, then you don't have to worry about what happens in Water City. Shen Tianhe's gaze turned sinister as he clenched his fists tightly and shouted, "Guard of the Water City, listen up. Whoever can injure him will be rewarded with a piece of profound stone. Who can kill him? A Xian crystal. Don't worry, his holy source has already been used up and he won't be able to use that staff anymore." He did not know that Long Fei's holy source was exhausted. He had merely said this without thinking and had his men charge forward. He didn't even know that what he said was true. Yang Yu's face sank and said, "This is bad." Long Fei also knew this and cursed in his heart, "Damn, you can even see my holy source when it's empty." However, Long Fei was not weak at all and said arrogantly, "If you have the guts, then come up. Let's see who isn't afraid of death. Don't be cannon fodder, and don't die without knowing it." Shen Tianhe sneered and said, "Brat, you won't be able to escape today. Even if you had more yellow rank level 6 cultivation, it would be more than enough." Charred. Mysterious stone was an incomparably precious item that martial artists yearned for even in their dreams. The Xian crystal was even more incredible. Faced with such a huge temptation, the guards' hearts were moved. Just as they were hesitating, Shen Tianhe said out loud, "It's the same for any martial artist in Water City. As long as you can injure him, you will be rewarded with a piece of profound stone. Kill him, a Xian crystal." As soon as he finished, the guards looked at each other in dismay. Greed seized over terror as they all rushed over like a swarm of bees. "It's over." Anu was startled and complained, "I already said I can't wade in this muddy water, but you don't believe that I will die here for a slave." Yang Yu laughed lightly. His eyes were very indifferent, as if he had seen through life and death. He said lightly, "I should have died a long time ago." Anu's face changed slightly as he said, "Miss, I." Niu Dashan also felt that something was wrong. He rushed towards the crowd like a mad bull and shouted, "Boss, I'll block them." Long Fei turned around to look at Yang Yu and said, "You two think of a way to escape. Mountain and I will lead the way." Finished. He quickly rushed out and shouted, "Kill." Seeing Long Fei keep the golden cudgel, Shen Tianhe's eyes flashed with a trace of light, and he became excited. Could it be that I guessed right? His holy source has truly been exhausted. Ha ha ha. The heavens are on my side. Little bastard, prepare to die. Shen Tianhe also took a step forward. His powerful strength pressed down on Xiong Longfei like mountains and seas. This time, he was definitely going to kill Long Fei. Wang Shanhe also waved his arms and shouted, "Kill him." From all directions, over 100 elite powerhouses fiercely killed Xiong Longfei. At this moment, Long Fei had no other choice, but he was not afraid. Killing one was enough. Killing two would earn us money. How many times can we live? I want to be a hero. Since there was no holy source, he would just use his hands to attack. From God's martial continent to Chaos Realm, although he had changed his body, the blood of the people of Long family was still flowing in his body. Never retreat. If he didn't submit, he would force himself. If he did, he would do it. Rumble. 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 In a single move, Long Fei immediately used the King Kong fist to blow a guard's head off. However, more than 10 attacks were launched from his body, and he was immediately thrown to the ground. Blood poured out like a pillar from his body. Long Fei instantly sprung up from his seat and roared again. Yang Yu's face remained indifferent, and said, "We will also go up." Seeing that Long Fei was injured, she rushed forward recklessly. She had borrowed life from the heavens, so she should have died a long time ago. It was also at this time. Shen Tianhe laughed complacently. Brat, you're finished, ha ha ha. High up in the sky, fingers formed a claw, clawing down towards Long Fei's head. Blood eagle claw, I'm going to blow your head off. His life was hanging by a thread. Long Fei roared out in his heart, this father is not willing to accept this. This father has not overturned Chaos Realm, has not destroyed Main Temple, and has not stepped on the heavens. I don't feel good. At this moment, the system suddenly sounded out. Ding. Congratulations to player Long Fei, unknown fishing rod for catching such a huge monster. Do you want to raise your rod? Huge thing. Long Fei's reaction was a little slow as he cursed, it's just a fish that caught a fish in the air, give me a hint for a hammer. Alright. I'll see what kind of monster it is. Long Fei moved, grabbing the unknown fishing rod and swung it. His entire body sank and was almost dragged into the void world, covered in sweat. Damn, it really is a huge thing. Chapter 1149 Giants, Ancient Divine Beasts. Chapter 1149 Giants, Ancient Divine Beasts. There was a fish in Dark North. It was called the giant Leviathan. It was unknown just how many thousands of li it was, transforming into a bird. It was called the Peng, the back of the Peng, and it was unknown for thousands of li. This was the description that Long Fei couldn't help but think as he looked at the enormous thing that he fished out from the void. Kuan fish. Its two fins were wings, and it had fur on its back. Its scales were multicolored, and its long beard was like a dragon's whiskers. The most important thing was, the entire body of the Kuan fish was covered in armor. Like a super fighter aircraft, fully armed, equipped with all kinds of advanced weapons systems. It was like a cavalry in an unknown world, that kind of technology combined with the ancient divine beast world. When it rushed out of the void, Long Fei was completely stunned. The Kuan fish struggled so hard that Long Fei almost lost control of it, and its entire body was dragged into the air. However, he still relied on his strong idea to drag the Kuan fish out, making it look extremely sinister. It stared at Long Fei and shouted with its deep blue eyes, saying, "What business do you have with me? Quickly tell me, I still need to go fight." The Kuan fish is an ancient divine beast. The aura of the divine beast was burning on his body. Both of his eyes stared angrily at Long Fei. Ding. Do you want to release the Kuan fish? No. Release. F***K, your father's brain is pretty much full of water. Long Fei's heart was in a mess, but his mind was very clear. If this ancient combination of body and technology could become his mount, then he would be really strong. Long Fei did not choose to release it. The system sounded out once again. Ding. Kuan fish is going to rebel in 3 minutes. Please be careful. Ding. Kuan fish is going to rebel in 3 minutes. Please be careful. Ding. Kuan fish is going to rebel in 3 minutes. Please be careful. The system continuously sounded out 3 red warning beeps, causing Long Fei's eyes to tremble. He betrayed me before I even released him. Is this even F***King higher than Han Ba's level? The super powerhouse of the Han Ba divinity. He had to lie down obediently in Long Fei's beast space. Without Long Fei's tacit approval, he would not be able to rush out. However, the Kuan fish had not even entered Long Fei's beast space and was already beginning to rebel. How strong was it? Boss, be careful. Be careful. On top of Long Fei's head, Shen Tianhe's blood eagle clawed at Xiong Long Fei's head and laughed. Little slave, go and die, ha ha ha. Too fast. Long Fei didn't have any choice. F***CK. Since there are still 3 minutes left of betrayal, Laozi has to be arrogant and unbridled in these 3 minutes. Long Fei clenched both his fists. Since it was going to rebel, then he had to make good use of it. Otherwise, it would be a waste. Long Fei's heart sank as he roared, "Come out! Kuan King!" Boom! Long Fei's idea controlled its Kuan fish, and with a sudden spread of its 2 wings, it rushed out of the sky and swallowed Shen Tianhe whole with its bloody mouth. The black shadow covered the sky. Even in the darkness of night, one could still feel that kind of overwhelming aura that covered the sky and the sun. And at this moment, The entire water city was covered up. The Kuan King's body was thousands of kilometers large. The aura of an ancient divine beast suppressed the entire water city. No one could stop him. What the heck is this? Oh my god. What kind of monster is this? I've never seen such a demon beast before. Quickly run. People were going crazy. Shen Tianhe also felt the powerful force coming from behind him, but he was no longer able to retract his strength, and also, thinking about the golden cudgel in Long Fei's hands, whose greed had overcome everything, his heart sank. We must kill him. Long Fei stood in place with a smile on his face, not moving at all. Just as Shen Tianhe's blood eagle claw was half an inch away from Long Fei's head, it stopped because his leg had been bitten. It hurts. It was very painful. Shen Tianhe turned around to take a look and instantly peed his pants in fright. The Rock King swung his head and directly sent Shen Tianhe up into the air. Immediately after, he flapped his fins and flew into the air, opened his mouth wide and swallowed Shen Tianhe into his stomach. Gudong. With a crisp sound, the chicken began to taste as if it was crispy. And then, there was no then. Shen Tianhe was no longer in Water City. What cultivation Shen Tianhe had, Long Fei did not know, but he knew that he was the most powerful being in the Water City, and also a boss. He didn't even have the chance to resist. In an instant, ding, the system sounded out. Long Fei took a look at the superimposed energy values, 530 point. If you were to release striking energy value to the first level, and the striking energy value can only be used once, using the first level would cause your energy values to instantly clear to zero even if you used 999 points of energy values. Striking energy value can be stacked. However, once it was cleared and stacked again, it would be like killing another person and killing a demon beast. This was also a change from the upgraded version of striking system. Should I release more than 500 points of energy values? Long Fei thought for half a second, and said, if you want to do it, then do it big. It is not suitable for striking energy value. I want to see what good items secondary violent ghost can produce. Ding. Congratulations to player Long Fei for killing Shen Tianhe for obtaining 10,000 experience, 980 holy source points, and 10 energy values points. Congratulations to player Long Fei for obtaining Blood Eagle Claw. Do you wish to cultivate it? Congratulations to player Long Fei for obtaining the Yuanyang Clan Outer Sect Disciple Token. Congratulations to player Long Fei for obtaining One Xian Crystal. Congratulations to player Long Fei for obtaining Greedy Wolf Blood Vein. Shen Tianhe released a series of power. Everything he saw were things that belonged to him. Some special items would not pop out without the release of Berserk energy. Long Fei once again experienced the power of striking energy value. There's no longer any Berserk mode. There's really no chance of survival. I want to do something big. We need to do the most amazing thing. With secondary violent ghost, there would be a third, fourth, fifth. Level 10. If a first level Berserk beast was so eye-catching, then how fierce would the other Berserk beasts be? Long Fei was excited just thinking about it. Once Shen Tianhe died, everyone in the surroundings started to panic. Looking at the gigantic monster in the sky, their faces paled and their hearts trembled. Long Fei grinned and laughed arrogantly. Wang Shanhe, aren't you trying to kill me? Didn't you families want to kill me? Come now. Those disciples all retreated out one by one. He had lost all will to fight. However, they did not have any fighting spirit, so Long Fei's fighting spirit was extremely strong. The idea moved and shouted, Rock King, destroy these people. None of the people that wanted to kill him would be forgiven by Long Fei. This was a principle. It doesn't matter if you don't provoke me. Even if you provoke me, I will destroy your ancestral tomb, yet you dare to act so arrogantly, so arrogantly. The Rock King turned around and activated its slaughter mode. Boom. Boom. One by one, they fell to the ground. It was even simpler than chopping a cabbage and radish. 2 minutes later. Ding. Chapter 1150, 2 Hours of Life. Chapter 1150, 2 Hours of Life. Congratulations to player Long Fei for leveling up. Current level, Yellow rank level 7. Ding. Congratulations to player Long Fei for obtaining the upgrade reward, Exchange System Open. The exchange system already had one in the God's Martial Continent, but the items here were completely different from those in the God's Martial Continent. Furthermore, the exchange system had another powerful function, which was to recover everything with one click. It was very easy to recycle things that were not needed. Ding! The time of the Kuan fish's betrayal is here. Long Fei's mind tensed up. He immediately took out the golden cudgel and prepared. This King Leviathan was far too awesome. Powerful to the point of being a complete mess. Even though he was holding onto the golden cudgel, Long Fei still felt that it was not safe, and said softly, "All of you, stay away from me." Long Fei remained on alert. At this moment, the Kuan fish shot a cold glance at Long Fei, and coldly said, "Brat, you don't even have the qualifications to be killed by me right now, mate." Very contemptuous. They did not even put Long Fei in their eyes. Not at all. Just now, it had been controlled by Long Fei for 3 minutes. To it, this was an enormous humiliation, but it did not attack Long Fei because Long Fei did not have the qualifications to die in his hands. Boom. The 2 fins pierced through the void and disappeared in the blink of an eye. It was also at this moment. A voice resounded in Long Fei's mind, "Brat, you want me to become your mount and see when you can enter the ancient holy battlefield." Ancient holy battlefield? Long Fei's heart trembled. This was not the first time he had heard these words, and he had also heard them from Han Ba. What kind of place was this? Did the King of Kuan get caught by unknown fishing rod from somewhere? Long Fei repeated in his heart, "Ancient holy battlefield, good. For the sake of your mount, I must go as well." The air around the Rock King vanished. Water City was in a mess. With Long Fei at the center, all the buildings within a radius of a few hundred meters became dust. When they saw that the Rock King had disappeared, many people rushed over and stuck their heads out to look at Long Fei from afar. Nyo Dashan was very arrogant, and said, "What are you looking at? You want another fight, right? Come up if you have the guts." He had become even more arrogant. Long Fei unleashed his strength again and again. In Nyo Dashan's eyes, Long Fei was a god, an unrivaled god. Yang Yu was also extremely excited in his heart. Anu stared hard at Long Fei. "Is he really a slave?" Long Fei muttered, and said, "Mountain, quickly leave." Nyo Dashan was a little retarded, and said, "Boss, what are we afraid of? If these people dare to come up again, we'll release the monsters we just released and cripple them." Long Fei did not explain and shouted, "Let's go. You guys too, hurry up and catch up." If he stayed any longer and were discovered by these people, then he really wouldn't be able to leave. The people of Water City hated Long Fei to the bones. If they caught him, it would definitely cause his death to be incomparably miserable. Long Fei quickly walked out of the Water City. After exiting the Water City's gate, Long Fei immediately ran out. Seeing that, Nyo Dashan was startled. He then realized that the situation was not right. He ran, and quickly followed. It was the same for Yang Yu and Anu. On the city wall. When the warriors from the Water City saw Long Fei running out, they immediately roared and said, "This brat is deceiving us. Charge out and kill them. Kill them." However, by the time they rushed out of the city gate, Long Fei and the rest had already disappeared. 2 hours later. Huff, 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 huff. Long Fei panted heavily, and said, "I almost lost my life here. Fuck, isn't this chaos realm too dangerous?" He had only been in the primal chaos for a few days, so he could be considered to have experienced the dangers of the chaos realm. Just as the Yang Huang ancestor had said, the chaos realm was a world that ate humans. If you were not strong enough, you were destined to be eliminated. Royal Elder. When Long Fei thought of Yang Huang ancestor, he could not help but cry out in his heart, "You should have returned to this place by now, right?" At this moment. Cough cough. Yang Yu coughed out a series of mouthfuls of blood. His face was pale white and his lips looked as if they were covered with white frost. He looked extremely weak. Anu panicked, and asked, "Miss, where is your medicine?" Nyo Dashan was startled. "Miss? He's clearly a man, and you're calling him miss." Long Fei walked forward to take a glance at Yang Yu, and a slight crease appeared between his eyebrows. Yang Yu shook his head lightly. However, Anu huffed and huffed. All of you, move away from here. Miss, where's your medicine? Where is your life-continuing spirit pill? You can't have just brought that one out, right? Anu searched through Yang Yu's body, but didn't find what she was looking for. Nyo Dashan had a look of despise on his face as he said, "A grown man, isn't this a little too weak? Look at me, I was cut quite a few times and I'm still fine. You've only run 2 steps and you're already taking the medicine. You have to train harder." Anu glared fiercely at Nyo Dashan. Long Fei said in a low voice, "Mountain, stop talking." Long Fei asked, "Why did she take the life-continuing pill? What exactly happened?" Yang Yu's face was as cold as frost. "My body." Cough cough. After just saying a few words and coughing continuously, black blood flowed out from the corner of his mouth. The situation became more and more serious as Yang Yu looked at Anu. Anu's eyes darkened, he looked at a spot in the distance and said, "Mrs. Physique has been different since young, her muscles and veins have been blocked, and her blood flow has been unstable." Nyo Dashan was shocked, and said, "Isn't that body born crippled?" Anu stared at Nyo Dashan and had the impulse to go on a rampage. Nyo Dashan immediately said, "I'm sorry, I didn't do it on purpose." Anu continued to speak, "It doesn't matter if I can't cultivate, what's even more important is that Mrs. Vital signs are rapidly aging, like a flower that will quickly wither. The pellet that was given to you by Water City just now is one of her life-continuing pill destiny pill. That is the only destiny pill that we brought along with us when we went out this time. But miss, for you." Anu looked at Long Fei with hatred in his eyes. The fear I received in the Water City, combined with the 2 hours of trekking, it was unbearable for Mrs. Body. On the way, she wouldn't let me stop you because I was afraid you'd be in danger. Now. As Anu spoke, tears began to roll down his cheeks. Long Fei's heart tightened. When he consumed the destiny pill, his holy source value instantly increased by a large amount, bringing with it a strong burst of holy source power. No doubt about it. This was a very high-grade spirit pill. Long Fei had a certain level of understanding towards medicinal pellets, and asked faintly, if she did not use destiny pill, how long would she be able to last? Yang Yu gently shook his head at Anu. Anu said straightforwardly, 4 hours. Chapter 1151, Waiting for Me. Chapter 1151, Waiting for Me. As soon as he finished, Long Fei's heart sank even more. If not for Yang Yu's destiny pill, they would have all died in Water City. It was simply not enough time to catch the king of the Leviathan. Moreover, most importantly, Yang Yu was using his own life to help Long Fei. This was the thing that made Long Fei the most apologetic. Destiny pill. 4 hours. Long Fei's heart tensed up, and immediately asked, "Do you know the method to create the destiny pill? What spirit grass do you need?" Anu laughed bitterly and said, "So what if I know? Could it be that you can use alchemy? Even if you have alchemy, do you think destiny pill are trash pellets? Can any alchemy master refine it successfully? Let's not talk about this. Do you have a spirit grass? Do you have heavenly fate grass that is worth thousands of Shen crystal? Are you a sky origin flower? Do you have any spiritual god vines? Do you? If not, don't talk about alchemy. Do you know how much these spirit grass are worth? Do you know that a single destiny pill can buy 10 cities like the Water City? Do you know? You don't know anything at all. The value of destiny pill could be said to be priceless. At least, to the current Long Fei, it was an unreachable existence that he looked up to. He had never even heard of these spirit grass before, not to mention refining. Moreover, in the Chaos Realm, he did not cultivate the alchemy technique at all, and even if he was given these spirit grass, he would still be unable to refine them. Long Fei's face changed slightly at what Anu had said. Indeed, he did not know anything, which made his heart feel even worse. He felt extremely upset. There was nothing he could do. Yang Yu lightly pulled at Anu's clothes, coughed, and said, "Anu, this is my life, and also the choice I made myself. I don't blame anyone. I should have died a long time ago. Yang Yu revealed a bitter smile. Her smile was filled with helplessness. Long Fei felt his heart ache even when he saw this. Anu said, "Miss, you are still defending him at this time? If it wasn't for him taking your medicinal pellet, you wouldn't be in such a state. I told you to ignore the two of them. What is there to make you sacrifice so much for these two slaves? They are just two slaves." Nyo Dashan was unconvinced. So what if I'm a slave? Are slaves not human beings? Also, if you say I can, but I can't say my boss. Anu sneered, "You two are very clear in your hearts whether or not a slave is a human. In this world, the life of a slave is not as valuable as the life of a demon beast. To put it harshly, your lives are even worse than a dog's." Nyo Dashan immediately became angry. "Your life is not as good as a dog's, you want to fight, right?" Anu was also enraged, and said, "So what if I fight? Do I have to be afraid of a mere slave like you?" Anu. Mountain. Long Fei and Yang Yu shouted at the same time. The two of them fell silent. Anu turned around and looked at Yang Yu, and said, "Miss, let's go. Let's go home." Yang Yu struggled as he shook his head. "Anu, it's useless, it's too far, it's useless." Long Fei also said, "Yuanyang clan is too far away from here. Even if you fly for 4 hours, you won't be able to fly back." Anu cried as he said, "No matter how far I go, I still want to give it my all." Ignoring Yang Yu's struggles, he carried Yang Yu on his back. Anu's holy source was completely dried up, and had been rushing all the way back. He had not recovered a single bit, and simply could not rely on her cultivation to make it back. Moreover, she herself was very weak. He had not taken 2 steps, and with Yang Yu's struggle, the two of them fell to the ground. Anu immediately hugged Yang Yu and said, "Miss, are you alright? It's all Anu's fault, it's all Anu's fault." Yang Yu smiled slightly and said, "Anu, it's none of your business. Anu, we can't go back anymore. Help me up." Anu did as she said and helped Yang Yu up. Yang Yu looked at Long Fei, her voice somewhat drifting, and said, "I am the daughter of an elder of Yuanyang clan. Besides some matters right now, Yuanyang clan needs some very talented disciples. Can you please go up to Yuanyang clan?" Very serious. This was also the reason why she had sneaked down the mountain. She didn't want her father to look worried all day. Nyo Dashan was shocked. He inwardly clicked his tongue. Heavens, it's really a Yuanyang clan, a super sect that controls 18 cities with a radius of 1,000,000 kilometers. Long Fei was not surprised at all, because he had already guessed who they were. Seeing Long Fei not saying a word, Yang Yu spoke again. "Can you go to Yuanyang clan?" Anu said in a low voice, "Miss, they are just 2 slaves, they cannot change the Yuanyang clan, and their identities do not even qualify to be assessed in the Yuanyang clan. Slaves had a lowly status. No sects would hire them, and no one would even give them the qualifications to take the exam." Yang Yu looked at Long Fei very seriously. She knew that as long as Long Fei was willing, he would definitely pass the examination with his potential. In the Chaos Realm, what Long Fei wanted to do was to destroy everything. He wanted to use the Chaos Realm as a springboard to enter the divinity. He wanted to overturn the main temple. He wanted to trample the heavens beneath his feet, and that was what he wanted to do. Entering the sect. He had never thought of this. However, now, he owed Yang Yu his life. Long Fei nodded, and said, "Okay, I promise you, but I won't let you die. I definitely won't." Yang Yu smiled lightly, and said, "Agreeing to me is enough, my life is no longer important." He. "Father, I found a super genius for you. Yuanyang clan is saved." The voice was getting lower and lower. The moment Long Fei agreed, she smiled. He didn't know why. She just believed in Long Fei, and believed that he could help the Yuanyang clan out of this predicament. "Definitely." Anu shouted loudly, "Young miss, young miss, young miss." Long Fei also stepped forward, seeing that wrinkles quickly appeared on Yang Yu's face, his body rapidly aged, and his entire person passed out. A simple disguise fell off their faces, and their black hair turned white. In just half a minute, she had turned into an old lady that was at death's door. There must be a way. There must be a way. There will definitely be a way. Long Fei was panicking. It was rare for him to not be able to calm down in such a situation, and seeing Yang Yu in such a state, he started to panic. What should I do? What should I do? Destiny pill, destiny pill. Right. I have an exchange system. Long Fei immediately opened the exchange system and saw the destiny pill on the shelf of the system. He was overjoyed, only that. Looking at the points required to exchange for it, Long Fei's heart sank. 4 hours. 4 hours. Long Fei looked at the unconscious Yang Yu and said softly, "Wait for me, I will definitely return." Chapter 1152 Using one's life in a fight for one's life. Chapter 1152 Using one's life in a fight for one's life. He could not refine a destiny pill and he did not have a spirit grass, but Long Fei had an exchange system. The exchange system had everything. Forget about destiny pill S. Right now the upgraded version of the exchange system could even exchange for resurrection pills. As long as you have enough points, you can even exchange for main artifact S. It was also at this time. The system suddenly sounded out. Ding. Congratulations to player Long Fei for triggering Save Yang Yu. Mission: Save Yang Yu, remove all sources of sickness from her body. Level: S. Urgent time, unknown reward, 1 million experience points, 50,000 quasi-holy source points, alchemy technique leveled up by 3 levels, player has not yet cultivated alchemy technique, 2 special item. It suddenly triggered an S-rank mission. Long Fei was a little confused, but he didn't think about anything else right now. Right now, he was just thinking about earning points to exchange for the destiny pill S to save Yang Yu's life. Wait for me. You must wait for my return. I will definitely rush back. Definitely. Finished. Long Fei yelled, "Mountain, protect the two of them." Without waiting for Niu Dashan's reply, Long Fei dashed into the forest. In the upgraded exchange system, as long as it was something valuable, the trading points could be reclaimed. The better the item, the higher the points. The destiny pill points Long Fei wanted to exchange for were an entire 160,000. Long Fei had just blown up something from the Chaos Realm, Blood Eagle Claw, King Kong Fist. All these things that could be exchanged were exchanged. He had only exchanged for 300 points, the difference was too big compared to 160,000 points. However, as long as he dared to do it, he would definitely succeed. Berserk. I'm going berserk. As long as we kill a few more demon beast, as long as we trigger the secondary violent ghost once, maybe one item can be exchanged for 160,000 points. Yes. Definitely, definitely. Long Fei muttered to himself. Seeing that great Yang Yu had instantly aged, his heart felt unspeakably uncomfortable. For you, a woman would not hesitate to hand over her life. Should I save such a woman? Long Fei wanted to save him. No matter the price, he would save her. In another place. Daybreak, Water City. City Lord's mansion. All the families and warriors in the city were kneeling on the ground, shivering. 4 men. A man around the age of 20 was extremely young. However, the warriors in the Water City were even more afraid of them than they were of the ghosts, because they were wearing the clothes of the inner disciples of Yuan Yang clan. His status was incomparably precious. In the Water City, they were the heavens. The leading man looked at the token on the table and coldly asked, "Where did you get this token from?" An old man carefully said, "It was a middle-aged man." City Lord Shen said that this medallion was fake, so A figure landed. A palm struck the head of the old man and a powerful force entered through the top of his head. In less than 3 seconds, the old man had turned into a pool of blood. The man who killed angrily rebuked, "You dog, you actually said that this token is fake, you're courting death." Everyone's heart sank. He immediately lowered his head, not daring to even breathe. "Senior brother, what if this is a middle-aged man? This is obviously the order badge of the little junior sister." "Yeah, what's going on?" "I think it's because little junior sister changed her appearance. These trash can't even see her true appearance." The four of them discussed briefly. And then, one of them said, "Senior brother, we all know the body of the little junior sister. We should find her as soon as possible, if only." He did not dare to continue. Moreover, when they entered the city, they were completely shocked by what they saw. It was as if an ancient war had occurred, shocking everyone. The leader's gaze darkened as he said gloomily, "Where did the person who took this token go? Speak." They were saved by a slave." "How dare you? How honorable is the identity of the little junior sister? How could she be with a slave? Tell me honestly." They were really saved by a slave and ran towards the Yuanyang mountain range. "We really don't know where they are right now. My lords, please spare us." When they raised their heads, the four of them had already disappeared. They had to find Yang Yu immediately. If anything happened, they couldn't bear it. And then there was Long Fei. He dove head first into the mountains. Boom! Long Fei's legs swept across, causing a series of heavy explosive kicks. That star monster's body immediately exploded. Ding! Congratulations to player Long Fei for killing 1-star monster, for obtaining 340 experience, 20 holy source and 1 energy values. It's not enough. It's too slow. Long Fei tore off the monster head and spilled beast blood all over his body. He used the blood to stimulate the senses of the demon beast and attracted even more demon beast. Long Fei was an expert at killing demon beast. He knew very well what could make the demon beast excited. Blood. Fresh blood. Rumble. From the depths of the gorge, a burst of rumbling sounds could be heard. And then, on the hill, a wolf howled towards the sky. The dense sounds of footsteps in the valley became even more concentrated. Wolves. Long Fei's heart sank. If it was in the past, he would definitely be careful when facing wolves, but now that he no longer had time, he didn't have time to think about anything else. He wanted striking energy value. He wanted to trigger the secondary violent ghosts attribute. Thus, without any hesitation, Long Fei released his chi, shouted once, and said, "Come, the more the better." A moment later, a large group of sky wolves rushed out of the valley, surrounding Long Fei in an instant. One heavenly wolf that was nearly 2 meters tall stared fiercely at Long Fei. Wolves. An incomparably savage existence. They knew how to use tactics, attack and defense in an orderly manner, and they were very united. Long Fei slightly said, "Come." Both his fists sank. Without waiting for the wolves to charge at him, he rushed out first, looking around at the densely packed pack of wolves around him. He thought to himself, it should be enough to kill these wolf packs striking energy value. Long Fei's heart was moved. He rushed forward and strangled one of the heavenly wolves with his neck. The surrounding heavenly wolves also pounced towards him. Swish! A deep wound was made on his back by the claws of the wolf. Blood gushed out. Long Fei refused to let go. If he didn't kill Long Fei, he definitely wouldn't let go. "You can fight for me. I can fight with 10 lives for you." Long Fei did not try to defend at all of his power was used on his attacks. Let's see who the F***K can't hold first. Let's see who can be more arrogant. So what if it's a pack of wolves? I am even more brutal than you. They wouldn't rest until they were dead. Long Fei was fighting with his life. He was going all out. Chapter 1153 Secondary Violent Ghost, Rich. Chapter 1153 Secondary Violent Ghost, Rich. Usually, Long Fei would not go crazy. When he went crazy, Long Fei would not see himself as a human. So what if he fought with his life on the line? He was fighting with the wolves, fighting to the death with them. The system rang out again and again with each hit. Ding! Congratulations to player Long Fei for killing 1-star Sky Wolf for obtaining 340 experience, 20 holy source points, and 1 energy values point. A bit more energy values now. 1000 striking energy value. Secondary violent ghost, I'm almost there. Long Fei quickly roared, and he became even more crazy. The wolves did not flinch. The more Long Fei went berserk, the more ferocious they became. They were fighting and even biting each other. It was like a mad beast. Just a little more. Striking energy value. Just a little more. Ah! Long Fei roared. The moment he sensed that his holy source had risen to its maximum value, he opened his right hand, golden cudgel. Rumble. The golden cudgel swept across and suddenly rumbled. A piece of the sky wolf was flipped over, the golden cudgel in Long Fei's hands clashed fiercely with it. The golden cudgel was extremely sharp when dealing with the star monster. With a swing of its staff, it caused its brain to burst out. However, Long Fei's consumption of holy source was extremely fast. Less than half a minute. The holy source that was brimming with the desire to kill demon beast was once again seen through. The holy source was now in a state of exhaustion. The golden cudgel also took the opportunity to disappear, and entered Long Fei's space ring. F***CK. Long Fei shouted, "The value of the holy source is too low." When the pack of wolves saw that the golden cudgel in Long Fei's hands had disappeared, they fiercely rushed forward once again. Half an hour passed. Long Fei was still killing. An hour had passed and Long Fei was still killing amongst the wolves. 2 hours had passed and Long Fei was still fighting with all his might. 4 hours had already passed, and half of the 8 hours had passed. On the other hand, Long Fei had yet to gather all 1,000 striking energy value S. No matter how strong your demon beast is, it's just 1 point. Soon. As Long Fei watched his energy values increase bit by bit, getting closer and closer to 1,000 meters, he became increasingly worried about Yang Yu getting up. An hour passed. There was less than half an hour left to the 4-hour mark, but what was still a few minutes until 1,000 energy values? Long Fei was completely exhausted. It was extremely uncomfortable. After more than 3 hours of intense fighting, every part of his body was full of wounds. He was too tired, to the point where he no longer had any strength left in him. However, Long Fei still did not give up. He still risked his life to attack one of the heavenly wolves. With him at the center, there were a large number of sky wolf corpses in the surroundings. Ah! Long Fei used all his strength to break the neck of a sky wolf. Ding! Congratulations to player Long Fei for killing 1-star sky wolf for obtaining 340 experience, 20 holy source points, and 1 energy values point. 999 energy values. Just a little more. Hold on. Long Fei charged again. His speed was very slow, as though he was about to fall down. At this moment, he suddenly roared towards the sky, and his feet moved forward as if he was stepping on clouds. His speed was extremely fast, from the distant mountain slope to Long Fei's front in less than 3 seconds. It was also at this time. Long Fei killed another sky wolf, 1,000 energy values. Long Fei shouted in his heart, finally 1,000 points. At this moment, bam! Long Fei's body sank, and flew out. Smashing into a huge tree, Long Fei spat out a mouthful of blood and stared at the head wolf in the distance. It was also a mini wolf king boss. His strength was at 4-star. Its body was twice as tall as an ordinary sky wolf. The manner on its body exploded, and its body became even larger as it walked towards Xiong Long Fei, step by step. His eyes were full of killing intent. Long Fei fell to the ground, blood flowing out of his mouth. As he stared at the Wolf King, he laughed sinisterly. "It just so happens that I can use a boss like you as a guide. I'll definitely drop something good." Roar! A low roar came from the Wolf King's throat. Its front claws dug into the ground and its body leaned forward slightly. Suddenly, the Wolf King rushed out and let out a roar. The formidable power formed a net to suppress Xiong Long Fei. Long Fei took out the green giant's energy liquid, merged twice. "Activate for me." Time was not up yet. According to the usage instructions, Long Fei was unable to use the green giant's energy liquid. If you combine them twice, the time will be cut in half. He paid the price of transforming once. Long Fei did not have the strength to deal with the Wolf King, so this was his only strength. The green liquid completely poured into his body, tearing his shirt in an instant. His muscles seemed to explode as his skin turned green. At the critical moment, when the Wolf King charged forward, Long Fei, who was behind him, fiercely rushed forward. His fist was like steel, heavily smashing the Wolf King's head. Rumble. The Wolf King's power was shattered. The Wolf King's head split open and its brain burst open. It collapsed on the ground and let out a blood-curdling screech. Long Fei took a step forward and landed heavily on the ground. He then exploded towards the Wolf King. Die. Rumble. The ground sank and a huge force blasted out, shaking the entire valley. A huge crater appeared on the ground, and the surroundings of the crater were filled with cracks. The system beep rang. Long Fei tightened the center of his brows and immediately said, "Release the secondary violent ghost's energy. I have to get something good out of it." Ding. Congratulations to player Long Fei for killing 4-star Wolf King for obtaining 8,000 experience, 700 holy source points, and 1 energy values. Congratulations to player Long Fei for obtaining Wolf King's Claw. Congratulations to player Long Fei for obtaining Wolf King Iron Fist. Congratulations to player Long Fei for obtaining Wolf King Bloodvein. Ding. Player Long Fei has used 1,000 points of striking energy value to trigger the secondary violent ghost. Please select the domain treasure set, Water God Treasure Series. Long Fei did not mind and directly said, "I choose the Water God Treasure Series." Ding. Congratulations to player Long Fei for obtaining Carefree Sky Sovereign Sword. Long Fei was instantly stunned. Exalted Celestial Carefree Sword? This thing. Long Fei took a quick glance at the properties of the venerable Lord Xiao Yaro's sword and his eyeballs almost started to move. The secondary violent ghost is truly amazing, it can even cause such a powerful thing to erupt violently. But Long Fei did not hesitate. The moment Sky Sovereign Xiao Yaro's sword exploded, he immediately opened the trading system. The idea moved, and said, "Exchange." Ding. System notification. Are you sure you want to trade for the Carefree Heavenly Sovereign Sword? Yes, sir. Ding. System notification. Please consider carefully. Yes, sir. Ding. System notification. Please confirm again. The attribute of the venerable Lord Xiao Yaro's sword was just too amazing. Even the system had repeatedly reminded Long Fei not to exchange the sword with Long Fei, but now he had to get the destiny pill to save Yang Yu. Long Fei said angrily, "System, damn you, you clearly know that I am not willing to part with it, yet you keep reminding me. Yes, you are right, I want to exchange my points." Ding. Congratulations to player Long Fei for completing the exchange. Ding. Congratulations to player Long Fei for obtaining 100 million point. At this moment, Long Fei was a little confused. 100 million points. He was rich. Chapter 1154, You Are Just a Slave. Chapter 1154, You Are Just a Slave. 100 million trading points. A Destiny Pill's exchange points were only 160,000. How many could 100 million exchange for? Long Fei was a little confused. But he turned around and thought back to the grade of this exalted celestial carefree sword. Long Fei secretly clicked his tongue and muttered, "He's much stronger than I imagined. The secondary violent ghost is too powerful." It wasn't that he had a lot of trading points, but that the sword was an extremely good item. The secondary violent ghost was extraordinary. Long Fei thought in his heart, if level 2 is so powerful, then what about level 3? Damn, my little heart is almost unable to take it. Exceptionally excited. At the same time, he quickly returned to his original appearance. After opening up the system to exchange for a destiny pill, he quickly rushed back without looking. He calculated the time in his heart and thought, I must hold on. Time was almost up. How was Yang Yu right now? Long Fei was very worried in his heart. Long Fei was wounded all over, he was completely exhausted, and every step he took, the wounds on his body would all disappear. However, he did not stop. It was as if he could not feel the pain, and he ran out with all his strength. How could Yang Yu risk her life for him? Long Fei could too. Wait for me, you must wait for me. 10 minutes later. Long Fei looked into the distance and became excited. We'll be there soon. At this moment, a strong gust of wind blew over. Buzz. A figure landed and blocked Long Fei's path. The man's eyes were cold and filled with contempt. When the chi on his body exploded, A powerful burst of qi appeared out of nowhere and directly blew Long Fei away. Long Fei raised his eyes and shouted, "Scram!" The man sneered, looked at the slave imprint on Long Fei's chest, and said scornfully, "How can a mere slave be so arrogant?" Boom. With that said, the man's figure disappeared and a burst of energy struck Long Fei's chest. Fart. Long Fei spat out a mouthful of fresh blood, his body exploding outwards, and heavily smashing onto the ground. His chest seemed to be on the verge of splitting apart, and his internal organs were overturning rivers and seas, feeling incomparable discomfort. He was already severely injured, and the force behind this palm attack was extremely strong, causing his injuries to worsen. However, he almost instantly got up from the ground and took a detour, not caring about that young man at all. He didn't even think about who that man was. Why did he have to block this place? Right now, he only had one thing to do, and that was to not make it soon. Time was running out, and he had to deliver the pellets to Yang Yu as soon as possible. The man's face was full of ridicule and he sneered, "Not even one hit. Why would Yang Yu set his eyes on a slave like you? Brat, I don't care who you are, I don't care what tricks you use to catch the eyes of the little junior sister, but I'm warning you, stay away from her, otherwise, you will disappear from this whirl. Do you understand?" The look of disdain in the man's eyes became even stronger. Long Fei suddenly stopped and asked, "You are her senior brother? Her time is almost up. I've got the destiny pill, hurry up and let me pass. If her time is up, then it'll be too late." Long Fei only thought of saving her. As for the others, he didn't even think about them. Even though he was mocked by the man in front of him, he didn't take it seriously. "Destiny pill? Ha ha ha." The man laughed loudly, he stared at Long Fei and said, "A slave like you? And a destiny pill? Do you know what a destiny pill is? Do you understand destiny pill? If it wasn't for you." With that said, a strong killing intent suddenly appeared in the man's eyes. He stared at Long Fei gloomily, and a powerful pressure firmly suppressed Long Fei. Long Fei's sea of consciousness was extremely uncomfortable. It was as if his mind was being crushed by a huge mountain, and he could not move at all. This feeling made Long Fei exceptionally unhappy. However, he couldn't break through the pressure. This was because the cultivation of the man in front of him was far stronger than his, so much so that he couldn't resist at all. Seeing Long Fei stubbornly resisting the attack, his body trembled, but he did not kneel down, feeling even more dissatisfied. "You dog, let's see how long you can endure this." Buzz. The man released all of his cultivation and a powerful force rushed into Long Fei's sea of consciousness. Rumble. His sea of consciousness rolled. His mind was in turmoil. Long Fei's body was already on the verge of collapsing, he was simply unable to withstand such a strong pressure and in an instant, he fell flat on the ground and was completely crushed. He couldn't move his entire body. The man walked forward step by step, sneering, "Defend, aren't you able to withstand my pressure? Block it." Long Fei stared at the man as the anger in his heart surged. He said with difficulty, "I will slowly settle this matter of you crushing me, but now, saving Yang Yu is more important. This is really a destiny pill. 1 yard to 1 yard. Saving someone was their first priority." As Long Fei spoke, he took out the destiny pill he exchanged for. The man looked at the destiny pill in Long Fei's hands and laughed coldly. He stepped on it with 1 foot and directly crushed the destiny pill into pieces. "Lowly slave. How can a destiny pill like you have one? What is your identity?" Heh. He didn't believe that the pellet in Long Fei's hands was a destiny pill. This kind of pellet was too precious. If he could even take out a slave, then it would be a trash pellet. Looking at the crushed pill in his palm. Looking at the man's disdainful expression, Long Fei really wanted to get up and slap him a few times, but he was suppressed right now. This made him extremely unhappy. And then, Long Fei moved his hand, exchanging for another destiny pill, and took it out again, saying, "Saving people is more important. If you were any later, she would have been too late." The man laughed, "Ha ha ha. You really have a lot of destiny pills." While they were talking, the man raised his foot and stomped down, landing on Long Fei's palm. Crack. The man's voice was filled with anger as he shouted, "Who do you think you are? Who do you think you are? Do you think that the destiny pill is something that a person like you can take out? You are insulting the destiny pill. If it wasn't for little junior sister telling me not to kill you, even if you had 9 lives, you would still be dead right now." Another destiny pill was crushed. The anger in Long Fei's heart was surging, and was almost fuming from the top of his head. He was extremely unhappy, and had truly used all of his strength just now. Otherwise, Long Fei would have killed him. 2 destiny pill, 320,000 trading points gone just like that. Cluck, cluck, cluck. Long Fei gritted his teeth until it made a cracking sound. The man sneered and said, "What? You want to kill me? Ha ha ha." While they were talking, the man knelt down, stared at Long Fei and disdainfully laughed. "Are you even worthy? You're just a lowly slave. Do you understand?" Chapter 1155, We Attack the Yuanyang Clan. Chapter 1155, We Attack the Yuanyang Clan. Disdain. Ridicule after ridicule. That kind of condescension, that made people proud of themselves, all these made Long Fei unhappy. If the Rock King was still here. If the Green Giant was still there. If Long Fei still had the holy sauce to use the golden cudgel, he would not hesitate to smash the man in front of him to death with a rod. The man's sense of superiority made Long Fei unhappy. What made him even more unhappy was that the 2 destiny pill were trampled to pieces just like that, and that was 320,000 trading points. Even the gods couldn't tolerate it. Long Fei's eyes became gloomy as he stared at the man without moving, and said solemnly, "If you have the guts, then kill me today. If you can't kill me, then I will definitely kill you in the future." Killing intent filled his eyes. His tone was arrogant. The man laughed coldly, "Ha ha ha." A loud sneer. The man's gaze tensed up. He suddenly stared at Long Fei and laughed. "You are such a lowly slave. I am an existence that you couldn't even touch if you looked up to me, and you want to kill me? Don't even think about it in your life. As for you, PH, you don't even have the qualifications to die at my hands. Do you understand?" The man's eyes were filled with contempt. Even if Yang Yu did not explain himself, he would not have killed Long Fei, because he disdained to kill a slave, so he had no right to die at his hands. Long Fei smirked and said, "Then just you wait." It was also at this time. Another young man came out and said, "Senior brother, everything is ready. The junior sister will not be able to hold on any longer. We must immediately rush back." The man stood up, and his expression returned to normal. "All right, I'll go right now." The man looked at Long Fei, who was on the ground, and said, "Senior brother, he is." The man said, "He's just a useless slave." At this moment, Long Fei once again exchanged for a destiny pill, took it out, and said, "This destiny pill can save her. This is something I promised her." At this moment, the man was infuriated. Like an angry lion, a roar burst out from his body, and the image of a strange beast superimposed itself on his body. Rage. The surrounding space instantly compressed. The void exploded. Endless amounts of powerful force rushed towards Long Fei from all directions, and continuously suppressed him, causing his body to be slowly lifted up. The man's eyes darkened, and said, "Don't use your ignorance to challenge my bottom line. If you dare to say the words destiny pill again, I will immediately shatter you into pieces." Extremely savage. Instantly, he exploded with the power of his blood vein. Even the man at the side was frightened and his face turned pale. The destiny pill in Long Fei's hands also fell to the ground. It was very hard. This time, it was even more unbearable, and it made Long Fei even more unhappy. Boom. As soon as he withdrew his power, Long Fei's body heavily fell down and smashed into the ground. The corner of the man's eyes twitched. He stared coldly at Long Fei, and said, "Don't let me see you again, or else, you'll definitely die." Then, the man turned around and quickly left. The other man walked to Long Fei's side, looked at the pellet on the ground, and said lightly, "Destiny pillets are divine level pellets, and are priceless. In this world, only senior brother can refine destiny pill, and yet you take it out in front of him. Aren't you courting death?" Long Fei said strenuously, "It really is a destiny pill. If you want to save young you, then bring this pill with you." Long Fei couldn't think of any other way. The man was stunned. "Junior brother." A stern shout came from afar. The man hesitated for half a second before he picked up the destiny pill on the ground and quickly gave chase. Long Fei's heart relaxed, he exhaled deeply, and said, "Wait, I will definitely return it to you when I get to the Yuanyang clan, 10 times. Rage burned in his heart. With his fists clenched tightly, Long Fei was extremely unhappy in his heart. However, after the pill was taken away, Long Fei believed that Yang Yu should be fine. However, the destiny pill could only help her recuperate, but it could not completely heal her. Long Fei's task was to remove the source of the disease in her body. Whoosh, 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 whoosh. A few streaks of light shot out from the hillside into the sky. A voice resounded in Long Fei's mind, "You must come to Yuanyang clan. You promised me, you must come." Long Fei looked up into the sky and said faintly, "I will definitely go, but not now." So what if he went now? He was not a match for that senior brother at all, and would still be crushed by him in the end. If he was going, then he definitely had to have the qualifications to crush that senior brother to the ground and not be able to crawl back up. Not now. But it won't take long. Long Fei rested on the ground for a while. At this moment, Long Fei opened the trading system and looked at the dazzling array of things inside. There were special items, medicinal pellets, holy artifacts, and even some future technology that Long Fei had never seen before. He could even exchange for aliens. Long Fei still had over 90 million points left. Exchange for 10 highest grade medicine powder. Exchange for 100 holy source pills. Ding, ding. The system sounded out a few times. Following that, Long Fei checked his remaining points and muttered to himself, "Damn, using nearly 20 million points in one go? A holy source pill costs 130,000 points per pill? Spending money like water." Long Fei swiftly swallowed the 5 healing pellets. He controlled the injuries on his body, but they were not fully healed. And then, Long Fei walked towards the hillside where Niu Dashan was still standing. "Mountain!" Long Fei shouted. In a bush, Niu Dashan's body lightly moved, and then with difficulty he replied, "Boss, I'm here." The voice was low. It was like his aura was drifting about. Long Fei's heart tensed up, thinking back to the young man just now. If they could make a move against him, they could naturally do the same to Niu Dashan. The anger in his heart grew even stronger. Long Fei quickly ran up and saw that his entire body was covered with wounds, both of his arms were broken and twisted, the white bones had pierced through his skin, and blood flowed all over the ground. It was extremely shocking. Cluck, cluck. Long Fei clenched his fists tightly, the joints on his body popping out. He thought, "Just you wait, if I don't kill you, you will die." He was truly angry. Niu Dashan was injured so badly. Long Fei first fed him a few healing pills, then looked at the protruding bones in his arm, and said slightly, "Mountain, hold it in." Crack. Long Fei used all his strength and pulled. Ah! Niu Dashan's body bounced up in pain, his eyes almost popping out, his entire body was drenched in perspiration. After screaming for a bit, he said without stop, "Boss, sorry, I did not manage to protect them." Long Fei said slightly, "Mountain, do you want to take revenge?" Niu Dashan trembled and nodded strongly. I really want to immediately blow up their anus right now." "All right. We will attack the Yuanyang clan." Chapter 1156, Concealment. Chapter 1156, Concealment. Senior brother, little junior sister is going to die soon. Her withering is too fierce. Her vital signs are weakening rapidly. Right now, even her mind and sea of consciousness are shrinking. Miss. On the road to Yuanyang clan. The pill that was given to Yang Yu in the beginning could only alleviate the speed at which she withered, but now that the effects of the pill had passed, the speed at which Yang Yu withered started to increase. If there are no destiny pill. Anu looked at the senior brother and said, "Senior brother Lai, only you know how to refine destiny pill. Do you have no other choice?" Lai Yang's eyes darkened, and said indifferently, "Do you think you can refine destiny pill as you please? Do you think that a single pill can be used to replace a destiny pill? It's you, Anu. Why didn't you stop the little junior sister from taking out the destiny pill? You clearly know the importance of destiny pill, but why did you ask little junior sister to give the medicinal pellets to a lowly slave?" Anu lowered his head, not daring to say a single word. She really couldn't take care of him. However, at that time, it wasn't that she didn't stop him, it was just that he didn't stop her. "Senior brother, junior sister's vital signs are getting weaker and weaker. If there are no more destiny pill," a junior brother said anxiously. At this moment, the fiery blaze did not have any other methods. He could refine destiny pill S, but the success rate was less than 1 level. The spirit grass that was used to refine destiny pill were also extremely precious, and even the Yuan Yang clan could not endure it. Many people were dissatisfied with them for the sake of refining destiny pill. If not for the pressure from his master, Yang Yu would have died a long time ago. At this moment, Lai Yang slightly said, I have a destiny pill here. Yes, it's that slave. Lai Yang glared and stared fiercely at Lai Yang, and said, "Lai Yang." Lai Yang's expression changed slightly as he said, "Senior brother, we don't have any other options right now, how about we give it a try? What if it works? What if you actually believe in a slave?" What is a slave? They are the lowliest thing in the world, the lowest thing. They are only for people to play with, they are trash who can only be torn apart by demon beast in the beast battling arena. They are just trash. Lai Yang said heavily. The other two were confused. What slaves? What destiny pill? What are you two talking about? Anu's heart trembled, and said in a low voice, "Could it be that he really got his hands on the destiny pill?" Lai Yang said, "Senior brother, I know everything you have said, we should not believe in the slave's words, but don't we have no other choice? Just give it a try, what if it works? We can't just watch as the little junior sister dies, right?" Lai Yang also said, "Let's fight to the death." Strong Gale said, "Senior brother, if you don't save him soon, little junior sister will really." At this moment, Anu said, "Senior brother Lai Yang, quickly give the pill to young miss, I beg of you." He didn't know why. Anu also believed in Long Fei for some inexplicable reason, like a straw in the vast ocean, and she firmly grabbed onto it. Lai Yang's eyes darkened. Indeed, during the time that Yang Yu was gone, he had been cultivating in seclusion and did not refine destiny pill S. Furthermore, refining this kind of pellet was not something that could be done just by saying it was done. Anu supported Yang Yu up. Lai Yang glanced at senior brother, then stepped forward and carefully placed the pellet into Yang Yu's mouth. A wave of energy slowly began to catalyze on her back. The medicinal strength slowly dispersed. Next, a miraculous scene occurred. Yang Yu's complexion quickly recovered, her body quickly recovered its vitality, the wrinkles all over her face disappeared, and her white hair slowly turned black. Everything seemed like a miracle. Everyone was dumbfounded. It's really useful. It's really useful. It's really a destiny pill. The effects are even faster than the ones I've consumed before. This is unbelievable. Did it really come from a slave? Everyone was shocked. Only Lai Yang's face was slightly ugly. Thinking back to the scene in the forest, he consecutively crushed a few pills. Could it be that those were all destiny pill? Lai Yang thought to himself, impossible, absolutely impossible. How can a mere slave have a destiny pill? He's just a lowly slave. However, even if he didn't believe it, Yang Yu's recovery right now was the best proof. At this moment, Lai Yang said coldly, "Is this pill really given by slave?" She stared at Lai Yang. Lai Yang was a little unable to react in time. Yes. Lai Yang immediately said, "What is it? This is obviously the destiny pill senior brother left at your place. I saw it myself, you didn't forget, right?" "Exactly. I also remember." "Junior brother, you are really forgetful." Strong Gale also looked at Lai Yang with his eyes. Lai Yang took a long time to react, and said, Right, I remembered wrongly. This destiny pill was given to me by the senior brother. I was muddle-headed and forgot about it. What slave's pill? A slave can have such a good pill? Lai Yang said with a smile. Lai Yang looked at Anu coldly and said, when little junior sister wakes up, do you know what to say? Anu was not an idiot, so she naturally understood in her heart. However, for Yang Yu, she teasingly said, Anu knows, this pill was refined by you, senior brother. Lai Yang smiled with satisfaction and said, you are very smart. A smart person can live for a long time. Lai Yang said, no one is allowed to say half a word about this matter, or else. A killing intent flashed in his eyes. Anu secretly thought, Miss, I am sorry, I am doing this for your own good. He is only a slave, and slaves are useless in this world. You can't have anything to do with him anymore. Yang Yu had a noble identity. Long Fei had a lowly status. In Anu's heart, even if Long Fei saved him, the two of them could not have any relations, because Long Fei did not have the qualifications. He didn't even have the qualifications to enter any sect. Not to mention saving the Yuan Yang clan. How could a slave save the Yuan Yang clan? Who would believe it? This was simply a joke. 3 days later. Long Fei's health point were overflowing, his holy source's value was overflowing, and he was full of stamina. Niu Dashan was the same. A powerful body like an ox's would recover quickly. Niu Dashan muttered for a long time, then asked, Boss, why does that follower want to call him Miss? Could it be that his name is Miss? He had been thinking about this. This question had been bothering him for several days. Long Fei laughed, I'll know the next time I see you. A few hours later. Long Fei and Niu Dashan stood at the feet of the Yuanyang mountain range, looking at the majestic mountain range. It was as though a gigantic beast had charged into the sky. It was extremely ferocious. Niu Dashan said, I heard that the Yuanyang clan is inside this Yuanyang mountain range. Long Fei took a step forward and said, then let's kill our way over. You're tuning in to the Celestial War YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.